So I apologize for that. We're super, super excited to have everyone on. Before I kind of get started, I probably need to just make sure that we are actually live and that you all can see me. This is kind of the first time that we are streaming on YouTube. So totally new, exciting, and different. So if you are on, if you wouldn't mind, type something in the chat so that I can just see that you are here with me. I am going to check in with Sadie to make sure that she sees me. All right. If you can, oh yeah, I got a comment. So wonderful. I know that I am here. I am on live. Perfect. Hello, everyone. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, so excited that everyone is here. Super, super excited. Way to go. Hello, everyone. Hello, Emily, Marissa, Armisha, Candy, Miss K. Hello. Awesome. Great, great, great. You all can hear me. That is wonderful because I was a little panicked there, a little bit worried. So how's everyone doing? Let me know how you all are doing. Would love to see where you all are actually joining us from. So if you can, let me know where you are joining in from. Awesome. Let's see, where are you joining in from? Yes, it is showtime, Asia. Yay, Sadie, thank you. You're good to go. Like I was literally straight up panicking because I could not figure out how to get myself to go live. And now I'm still trying to figure out how to get Vanessa on. So we'll hopefully get that all figured out as well. Let me see. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's see. All right. So Vanessa, I'm going to try to bring you on, but for some reason, it's not showing you as having video, but let's just test this out to make sure. So you should be on, but I'm not seeing your face. I don't know why. Oh no. So let's see. Vanessa, can you talk just to see if maybe I can hear you? I don't see you on, but we're going to keep testing out Vanessa to see if we can get her on. It says that you're here, but I just don't see a picture of you, Vanessa. So once you come back in, I'll try to bring you back on. So let's see where everyone is kind of dialing in from. Whoa, okay, so we have a lot here. Palmdale, California, Minnesota, Boston. Yay, Boston, Massachusetts, Miami, Washington, D.C., L.A., baby, Portland, San Francisco, Maryland. Hello, Sarah. New York, Maryland. We got a lot of Maryland people. Mississippi, Utah, North Carolina, Jersey, Maryland, Minnesota, Virginia, New Mexico. Awesome. Boston. Central Texas, Pittsburgh, Mobile, Alabama, Seattle, Charlotte. Lord have mercy, you all are representing all over the United States. DC, New Jersey, Los Angeles, Pasadena, Philly, Arizona. Whew, it's a lot. I don't have enough time to go through all of them, but I am so impressed, literally representing from all over. This is awesome. So one reason that we decided to try out YouTube is because rumors had it that the response time was less delayed. So the response time was quicker and there's less of a delay in actual conversation. So we're going to test it out and see if this works, and hopefully it does. So what I want to make sure though is, what is it that you all want to learn over the next 5 days? So a lot of you all did indeed reply to me when I asked, hey, what is it that's on your heart? What is it that's in your mind? What are the things that you're currently struggling with? I just want to kind of get a couple of ideas. I know a lot of you all did indeed reply to my email, and I appreciate that. But right now, just give me some ideas on what it is that you all want to work on. Specifically, anything in particular that you all want to work on. Oh, and while those are coming in, I see Vanessa now. Hold on, let me just make sure we get that all. I got so excited. Go for it. Woohoo! Hey, Vanessa.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, awesome. We're good to go now. All right, perfect. Sorry I was delayed in even getting us tested and all worked out. I was on a ProCheer playbook session and we like ended 5 minutes till the hour and it was just crazy. I had to get my light. So we're good to go. You guys, this is a sneak peek of who is coming on to answer some of your questions a little bit later on. So she will be joining us in just a few minutes. So the surprise is out. Vanessa is joining us. So I want to make sure that you all get your questions ready for her and we are good to go. Thank you, Vanessa. So I'll bring you back on in about 30. Yay. Okay, perfect. So let's see what we have here. Yep, we got a lot of different people from Arizona. Get at me. I love this. I love this. Okay, to dance more fluently, confidence finding your zone, confidence style, really nervous about live virtual auditions, techniques for staying calm and confident in this new environment. Love that. We're going to go over so much confidence stuff on Friday, guys. So please, it to me is like, it's like my favorite session of our challenge. So definitely join us on Friday. Where to start? We're going to go over some of that tonight. Outfits you can get on a budget but still look professional. Awesome. How to train efficiently and effectively for auditions. Tips on confidence, picking up choreography, the ProCheer look, motivation during the quarantine. Oh my gosh, I feel you on that one. Presenting the best you. Okay, so far all of this we are definitely going to touch at some point over the course of the entire week. And if we aren't able to cover the majority of what it is that you all want to cover, then we're thinking about adding in some additional sessions on Monday and Tuesday. So super excited about that. There's just so much coming in. So we'll make sure that we look through all of these comments as they're coming in. And if we don't address them in the first 5 days, we'll try to add some bonus sessions for you all. So slimming your body down, that's going to be on Wednesday for sure. Work on attire because I noticed most tryouts require dance shoes and I have cheer sneakers, no problem there. We can help you with that. We're going to really be talking a lot about how to get noticed and be seen tomorrow. A lot coming in around confidence, picking up choreography. Just thanks everyone that's on. I wish I could give shout outs to everyone. Des Monet, Tiffany, Beauty and Brains 5, Candy, Emily, Rose, Armisha, Taylor. Just thank you all so much for joining. It just really means that you all are ready to up level and go pro. Super excited about this next week. We actually did this last November and we had such an amazing response and such just overwhelming great feedback about the entire experience that we of course wanted to do it again for the summer. And so I mentioned this earlier, Vanessa will be coming on and joining us, but I really just want to kind of talk about some of the things that you all, I guess to make sure that you get the best experience out of the next couple of days. I just want to go over a couple of house cleaning items and just kind of put us all on the same page. So as you can see, there's just a lot of information, a lot of questions about becoming a professional cheerleader. And that's what we do every day, all day. We help you address those questions. We help you become at ease with the entire process. So I just want to thank you, first of all, for trusting in yourself and showing up. Trusting in your dreams, trusting in your desires, trusting in your goals, because the universe, the man upstairs, whatever higher being you believe in, would not have put this desire in your heart if he, she, it did not think it was possible for you. But you have to take the steps, you have to take the actions, and you have to show up. You have to show up on these lives, and most importantly, you have to show up for yourself. So congratulations on putting that trust in yourself and showing up and taking steps toward the goal that you have. Also, thank you just for being here tonight and putting your trust in myself and putting your trust in my team. We are here to help you every single step of the way. The majority of you are part of our Prep to Pro Facebook group. That community was designed to bring people with like-minded goals, aspirations, and dreams together so that we can help one another. Instead of being in a petty environment where women tear each other apart and bring them down, we are here to basically help one another and lift one another up. We have over 600 people enrolled in this challenge. I am super excited. My goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of the week, because that means that we are touching more lives, we are helping more people, and we are just basically helping you to accomplish the dreams and the goals that maybe are new to you, or maybe that have been in your heart for years. And you being here today, it basically means that you have said yes to yourself. You have said yes to leveling up. You have said yes to no longer playing it safe, no longer being at status quo, no longer living life day in and day out, concentrating on what everyone else wants for you. And instead, you've decided that you are going to say yes to yourself. You have said yes to being a better version of yourself. When it comes to interview skills, showing up every single day as your authentic self, what you're putting into your body, the nutrition and the fitness, creating a better mindset. You have said yes to blocking out fears and doubt. You have said yes to blocking out the thoughts of, I can't do it. There's no way I can accomplish this. I don't have a double turn. I can't increase my stamina and make it through an audition. I can't make it to the final round. I can't be there and hear my name called at an audition. You've said yes to blocking out all of that negativity and instead saying yes to positivity, confidence, up-leveling yourself, being a motivated version of yourself, being the best version of yourself, saying yes to yes you can, saying yes to going pro. And that is what is most important. Whenever life hits you with a roadblock or a barrier or a quarantine, instead of you allowing that to break you down and set you back and make you feel as though you can't, I want you to remember that you most definitely, absolutely can. So please remember that today is the start of a new you. Today is a start of a up-leveled you. Today is a start of a confident, more vibrant, more empowered you, because you are saying yes to yourself. And that is the first step. So we have a lot of information to cover with you tonight. We have a lot of information to cover with you all week. So I want you to grab your workbook. I want you to grab a pen and paper, because I promise you that you're going to discover more tips and more tricks on how to go pro than your brain can remember. Okay? So I am going to give you a lot of information. I am going to make sure that I set you up for creating your game plan to go pro, but then I'm going to be bringing on Vanessa, like I mentioned, as well. And she's going to give you some of her personal tips on what she was able to accomplish and the tips that she thinks will best help you propel you to the next level faster. Okay? So what I also want to do is just invite you to give yourself this time. Okay? Allow yourself to fully be present and to fully be engaged in what you're about to experience over the next hour. Eliminate distractions. Ignore the notifications on your phone. Like literally, if you're watching this on your phone, that's fine, but ignore the little notifications that come down. If you're on a computer, turn your phone around and down and just ignore it. Turn off the ringer, okay? Close down the windows that are on your computer. Give yourself this opportunity, because you deserve it. You deserve to absorb all of this and literally start to take steps in the right direction. And so what I would love everyone to do, if at all possible, and please don't think I'm cuckoo for doing this, but please right now, just take a deep breath. So inhale for 4 seconds and exhale. Do it again. Next time, I want you to just close your eyes and again, inhale for 4 and exhale. I want you to open up your heart and your mind right now and settle in and remember why you are here. Think about your future life. Think about who you want to become. I want you to breathe in the possibilities. I want you to breathe in strength. I want you to breathe in positivity, empowerment, excitement. I want you to breathe in all that is ahead of you for your future. And I want you to breathe out and release doubt, fear, overwhelm, thoughts of can't, won't, shouldn't, will not. I want you to breathe out all of the negativity that you have ever heard about yourself. I want you to breathe out all of the negativity that you have been personally telling yourself. And only breathe in what is possible for you in the future if you put yourself first. And I want you to get excited because your life can and it will change if you take action on what you're about to learn this week. Just as you have created your current situation with the right guidance, coaching, mindset, and positive thinking, tools and techniques, you can create a new reality for yourself. And so I really want you to get excited about what the future holds for you. And whenever you feel as though negativity, doubt, or anything that is not in alignment with who you want to become, when that starts to get in your mind, I want you to push out those thoughts and only breathe in positivity, possibility, strength, and empowerment. Because that's how I want you to live going forward. And that's what this is going to be about for us every single evening for the rest of this week. We are only about positivity. We are only about helping one another. We are only about supporting one another. We are only about empowering each other and becoming better versions of ourselves. Okay? So are you all in with me on that? Can we stay committed to that? If so, I want to hear some heck yes, I'm in. Most definitely, whatever it is that you want to say to me right now, I want you to type it in the comments because I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. I want to make sure that we're all in this together and that we're all going to work on this together as a community, as a sisterhood. And men are welcome too, obviously, but I just want to make sure that we are in this together and we're all going in the right direction. So let me hear from you all. Okay, wonderful. Absolutely. Yes, I'm down. Heck yes. Wonderful. Yes, I am committed. Wonderful. I'm in. Hell yeah. There's a fellow Redskins lady. HAIL. Hail. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. I'm loving this. Yes, Queen. Heck yeah. Absolutely. 100%. We are in. Wonderful. I'm so excited. I am so, like, my heart is beating. Like, I feel like I needed that deep breath in and out because literally, guys, I'm on level 10 right now just because I am so excited about what we're getting ready to accomplish with one another. So really quick, let me introduce myself because we do have, oh, they are still coming in. This is awesome. Yes. I want to introduce myself because there are a lot of you on tonight and part of this group that are completely new to Sideline Prep, completely new to who I am, and completely new to this entire community. So I just want to quickly give you the Reader's Digest version of my journey to how it is that I became CEO and president of Sideline Prep and why it is that I have the desire to help people like you go pro. So first of all, hello, I'm Janine Samuels. I don't even know if I introduced myself at the top of this live, but I'm Janine Samuels, CEO and president of Sideline Prep, and I help aspiring professional cheerleaders become prepared, polished, and confident to nail their auditions so that they can eventually become professional cheerleaders. It's basically what myself, my team, and my coaches do every day, all day, and we're truly committed to your success. I started off as a track and field runner, complete and total tomboy. Makeup and me were not friends at all, ever. I ran cross country, indoor track, and outdoor track. My sophomore year in high school, a friend of mine convinced me to skip indoor track practice and go to go to cheerleading tryouts in high school. And I did it. I skipped track practice and ended up making the team. She didn't, unfortunately. I sort of still feel kind of bad about that. But that literally was the start of my journey to where I am today. I literally found a new passion, something that I loved doing even more than running track and field. And that it truly propelled me for so many amazing years in the cheer industry. So I cheered my sophomore year, got cut my junior year in high school, literally thought that the world was crashing in, coming to an end. Auditioned my senior year, somehow was able to pick myself up off of the ground and made it my senior year. So I cheered my senior year as well. And this was true cheer. This was like motions and, go Panthers. It wasn't dance at all. At the end of my senior year in high school, Mr. and Mrs. B, who were the coaches at the University of Richmond, they actually judged our cheerleading tryouts. They heard that I had applied to go to University of Richmond, and they basically told me that if I made it into the University of Richmond, that I was welcome to come to their open stunt practice. And I did, and I ended up making the cheer team for University of Richmond at the end of my senior year in high school. And so that's basically why I decided to go to the University of Richmond. I didn't care about the fact that it was like the academics were amazing and all of that. It was a private university and very prestigious. I went because I made the cheerleading team. So I quit running and had the best 4 years on a co-ed stunt team at the University of Richmond. Senior year, we went on to win the co-ed small division at Walt Disney World. I graduated from the University of Richmond, gained my freshman 15 the year after I graduated because I wasn't active, I wasn't moving, I wasn't staying involved at all like I should have been in moving. And so that first year out of college, a friend of mine that next season got drafted to the Redskins, and my mom and I went to a Redskins game, and that's when I fell in love with the first ladies of football. I was sitting in the nosebleed section, and my eyes were fixated on those cheerleaders, and I decided that I wanted to do that. So I ended up auditioning for the Redskins. Somehow they liked me, and I made the team. I was on the Redskins for 8 amazing seasons, was on the cover of the calendar twice, was a captain for 4 or 5 of those years, was a co-captain, won very prestigious awards, one of which was the Lifetime Achievement Award, which is given to one young lady upon her retirement of the team. Went on many military appreciation tours to Kosovo, Afghanistan, Bosnia in support of our troops. That's probably the highlight of my 8 years, is being able to go and perform for troops overseas. And I ended up retiring after 8 amazing seasons with the Washington Redskins cheerleaders, and that's when Sideline Prep was birthed. Founded Sideline Prep, started working with young ladies to help them get prepared for auditions, and then, I realized, what? Maybe I'm not finished. So I actually ended up auditioning for the NBA. I ended up going for the Wizards. I knew that I needed to step up my level of technique. So I took my first beginner's ballet class and worked on my technique and ended up making the Wizards. I danced for the Washington Wizards for 3 years as an NBA dancer, and eventually retired when they asked me to be the in-game host. And they had seen what I could do as the in-game host for the Mystics, which was the WNBA team. And they asked me to host the Wizards games. So it was amazing because even though it was sad to put down my pom-poms, I was right there on the sidelines, sitting there watching my lovelies that had made the Wizards, watching them perform every single game. I would text them and give them pointers that I saw during the game. But it was amazing. So 11 years in the professional cheer industry. And because I had such an amazing experience in both leagues, that's why I feel it's kind of my duty and my job to really help other people go pro. And for me, it started out just about being prepared and polished and helping you all be prepared and polished for auditions. I literally became obsessed with the audition process. I became obsessed with knowing what different teams expected and wanted and needed out of their candidates. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up building programs, the ProCheer Playbook program, and different service offerings, and meeting one-on-one with dancers to help them get those skills. But what I realized was that it was so much more than just how to dance, how to put on makeup. It was about being a better version of yourself. It was about being confident in an interview. It was about showing up as your authentic you and walking in with confidence. It was about mindset. It was about positivity. It was about the law of attraction. It was about helping you as a woman know that you're more than just pom-poms, right? It's more than just shaking these palms on the sideline. It's about you truly leveling up as a human being and as a confident person. And that now is what Sideline Prep is about to me. Yes, I want you all to make teams, but it's more importantly that you become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And so our programs are about lifestyle changes. It's about habits and making sure that you live the best version of your life every single day and that you're living within your purpose. And because of that, we have amazing results. So we have a 98% satisfaction rating. 98% of our lovelies would recommend us to their friends. Our 4-month coaching program, the Pro-Cheer Playbook program, has a 74% success rate of our graduates making a team. That's unheard of in this industry. So we have over a 70% success rate of our graduates making a team. The current First Ladies of Football, the Washington Redskins cheerleaders, 78% of the current ladies are our clients. Over 50% of the current Wizards dancers are our clients, and our first gent, our first male, is on the Wizards as well. So we take pride in our results because we take pride in you. We take pride in our results because our top priority is you. And when our success is directly correlated to your success, that's how we're able to get the results that we have. It's because of the amazing community and the amazing women and men now that we invite into our life and into our community. So again, I just want to congratulate you on showing up. I want to congratulate you on being here and being live and being with us and allowing us to take you on this journey. Okay, so this week you're basically going to discover and be able to create your 5-day game plan to go pro. Every single day, we're going to focus on a different key success factor of the audition process. So if you don't have your workbook, I want you to go ahead and grab that. And Sadie will I'm going to put the link here for you. So if you need to download it right now, you can do that. And that is right off of our out of Google Drive. So if you need to download that, you can. And because I do want to make sure that you have your workbook so that you can start taking notes. But again, if for some reason you don't, you can just have a piece of paper and a pen, obviously, and jot down everything. So tonight you're going to get really clear on how to prepare. So that's our focus for tonight, is the entire prep process. I'm actually going to share with you all the exact game plan that our Pro-Cheer Playbook lovelies get access to. And we're going to go over that step by step to make sure that you know exactly what it is that you need to do to prepare for auditions. As I mentioned as well, you're also going to hear from this lovely who not only, made it to the NFL, but she also made it to the NBA as well. And we're just super excited to have her join us tonight, because I think it's really important that you all not just hear from me, who, yes, I went through 11 Pro-Cheer auditions, but I want you all to hear it from someone that is like in the mix right here, right now, that's going through this entire process as we speak. So Vanessa, like I said, is going to join us, and she is a doll. She is absolutely amazing, and she's so giving to this community. She is so willing to hop on these lives whenever I ask her to join us, and she loves helping other people go pro as well. So super excited, obviously, to have her on in just a bit. So that's what you have in store for you tonight. So first of all, I just want to kind of put it out there that I know that right now it's a tough time for all of us, right? It's tough because of the quarantine. It's tough because of virtual auditions. It's tough because there's a lot of unknowns. But what's most important right now is for you all to stay healthy and to focus on yourself. Some of us have a little bit more time. So it really is important that you take the little bit of extra time that we do have right now and that you focus on your goals and you focus on your dreams, because normally during any given week, we're focused on what everybody else wants, right? So again, I encourage you all to stay engaged, to continue to show up the entire week. You'll literally be able to step into your greatness and be the person that you want to be. You'll literally be able to step onto that field or on that court and like literally never look back if you give yourself and put yourself number one. And if you just allow yourself to absorb what we are going to share with you over this next week. So don't allow the doubt, don't allow the overwhelm, don't allow the frustration or the confusion or the, oh my God, I want to get out of this house, all of that stuff. Forget all of that and just focus on you, okay? Because literally, if you do that, you will succeed in anything in life. If you put in 110% and you find a coach and a mentor that can fast track yourself, to success because they've been there and done that, then the sky is literally the limit with you, okay, and for you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the whole idea of this challenge is that it's not just about you consuming information, okay? It's not just about you taking down the notes. It's about you taking action. Like literally, I want you all to take action every single step of the way. And if you get confused, if you get overwhelmed, don't worry, because in the Facebook group, I'm going to go over how you all are going to put your homework in and how we're going to be there and available to help you throughout this entire process. So really quick, I just want to make sure that you all know my team. This is Sadie and Brittany. Sadie is my community manager. The majority of you have probably already received a message from her. If you all have any questions at all, you can tag Sadie or you can tag myself in the Prep to Pro Facebook group if you start to feel, for whatever reason, overwhelmed with the process. But I assure you that the homework that you're going to receive every single night is doable and it's actionable. And the reason that we give you homework is because we don't want this to just be an exercise of you taking notes. We literally want you to take action every single night. And we are going to bribe you to take action with prizes. So I'll get to that in a second. Also is Brittany. She is our social media manager. She rocks it on social media. You can also tag her if you have any questions as well. I would not be able to put on an event like this without Sadie and without Brittany. So kudos to you ladies. Love you guys to death. Really, really appreciate you all. Don't ignore Sadie or Brittany if they're messaging you. It's because they are trying to make sure that you are on top of your game. All right, so really quick, the schedule for this week, Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here, every single day. On Friday, we will likely go at 5 p.m. Eastern just because it is a Friday. And I know even though most of us cannot get out, I want to just maybe have it a little bit earlier. And then we will talk about whether or not we will need extra sessions on Monday and Tuesday. But on Sunday, we're definitely going to have Monica. She is one of our coaches. She is a former Raiders cheerleader. She is going to be teaching at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday on IG Live and in our Prep to Pro Facebook group and also in Zoom. So that's something else that you all can join us for as well. All of these replays, we will be sure to put them in our Facebook group as well so that you don't have to navigate YouTube and Facebook group. We'll add those in a unit and those will be up for about 2 weeks, the videos, but your homework is always due the next day. Okay, so at the end of each day, we're going to have homework for you, and it's called Play of the Day. So you need to complete your homework and then post your homework within the post that you'll see in Facebook that basically is going to say Play of the Day, Day 1 homework. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that you post your homework within that post to receive credit for your homework. Okay, so here's how it works. Starting tomorrow, we're going to have giveaways. Here are the rules. You must be live here and show your face live. And we obviously can see all of the comments. So if you have not commented, yes, now would be a great time to comment so that you can show us that you were here live. And then 2, you have to complete your homework. So why is it that we are making you complete your homework? Well, one, because this challenge is about taking action. We want you to be successful with your next audition. And the best way to do that is to take action. Every single small step, it might be a small step, but it's going to give you massive momentum as you start to prepare for auditions. So by the time you're done, you will have already created your game plan to go pro if you complete your homework every single evening. Okay, so what can you possibly win? We're going to be giving away free trainings, virtual trainings. We're going to be giving away Amazon gift cards. We're going to be giving away free one-on-one sessions with our amazing coaches. And we are also going to be giving away a $1,000 scholarship. Yes, I said $1,000 scholarship to our Pro Cheer Playbook program that is kicking off in June. I love it that all of y'all are like posting, hey, I'm here, present, present, present. So again, the rules, you have to be live to win that prize for that evening. 2, you must complete the homework and post it in the Facebook group. You have to post your homework in the thread within the Facebook group the next day. And then that night is when we are going to announce the winner. And so actually, we're going to do a winner for tonight because there are so many of you all on tonight. We are actually going to give you all the opportunity to win one of these prizes tonight if you complete your playbook of the day and post that tomorrow in our Facebook group. So again, free trainings, Amazon gift cards, free one-on-one sessions with our coaches. It could be a technique session. It could be a makeup session with Chastity. And like I said, $1,000 scholarship to our Pro Cheer Playbook program. Now, a final note, and then I promise we're going to get started with the content. Y'all can tell I'm just so excited, right? I just keep talking, sorry. So final note, I want to remind you all of something. I'm just Janine. That's it. I am just Janine. If you could see yourself being and accomplishing the same thing that I accomplished, I want you to say, yes, that can be me. I want you to type in the comments, yes, your story can be my story. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can relate. Whatever it is that you want to type. I want you to just remember that I'm just Janine. And just Janine was able to be a track and field runner and become a professional cheerleader. Not just for the NFL, but the NBA. Just Janine was able to accomplish her goals and accomplish her dreams. Just Janine was able to become a rookie, not once, but twice. Just Janine with no dance skills, no dance background. I didn't even know what a pirouette was, guys, much less be able to actually execute it. I was able to go pro. So if just Janine can do it, then just you can do it. And all that you need to be and all that you need to do is just be you. All I want you to do is just be your authentic you and to see your future you as a professional cheerleader. Okay? And if you can do that and just let us guide you along this journey, then you, just you, can be a professional cheerleader just like just Janine. Okay, so please remember that. If I'm able to accomplish that, then you can do it as well. Okay, there's nothing special about me, guys. There is nothing special. There's nothing that I can do that you can't. I promise you that. I promise you that. Okay, all right, let's get started. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and pull up your first page to your workbook. Okay, so I think this is like page 4 in your workbook. And I'm going to go ahead and fill in the blanks for you. And I'm going to do this relatively fast because I really want the majority of our time to be spent with Vanessa so that we can also open it up to Q&A later on tonight. So can anyone guess what the number 1 mistake is? So lack of what? Can anyone guess what the number 1 mistake is? And the title of today likely will give it away a little bit. Prep like a pro. What do you all think the number 1 mistake is? Any ideas? Oh, guys, y'all are amazing. Come on. I love this. I see so many yeses, yeses. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So prep like a pro. What do you all think the number one mistake is? Lack of, yep, lack of preparation. And here, guys, I see a lot of confidence. You're right. But let me explain it to you this way, because it's all connected. So I feel like you all are both, everyone is right. So good, preparation. So lack of preparation. And here's why it's connected with confidence. I want you all to think about this. The more prepared you are, so when you're prepared, you have knowledge, you have skills, you have the ability, the techniques to do what it is that you're preparing for. So the more that you study, the more that you work on it, the more that you practice, the more that you do whatever it is that you're trying to work on, the more knowledge and skills that you have in that area. When you have more knowledge and skills in those areas, your competence in that area increases. As your competence increases, so does your confidence. So preparation and confidence are directly correlated, directly correlated. So lack of proper preparation is the number one mistake. And that leads into the fact that when you don't properly prepare for something, you're not going to walk into that situation with confidence. And this, if you just think back to a job interview, if you think back to having to be in school and going in to take that exam that you did not study for, think about it. Like, think about how you felt because you knew that you did not prepare like you should have. Okay. So mistake number one, lack of proper preparation. So the 3 stages of the sideline preps game plan to go pro are this. You can see it in the graphic. Number 1 is you are going to prepare. Okay, so the first step is you have to prepare for anything in life, but here we're specifically talking about pro cheer. You have to come up with your game plan, and that's what this whole week is about, your game plan to go pro. Okay, so number 1, the first stage is prepare. Number 2 is implement. So after you prepare, after you come up with your game plan, then you have to implement that plan. So stage number 2 is implement. Then stage number 2 has 2 main steps. You're going to react, and then you're going to evaluate. So what do I mean by that? So let's say that you have a plan and you have in the preparation phase, you have created your game plan. And one of the items on your game plan is to work out 30 minutes every single morning. You're going to do a HIIT workout to build up your stamina and to help you lose 5 pounds, okay? So that you can get the pro cheer body. And then you're also going to implement Jeanette, who is our nutrition and fitness coach. You're going to implement her meal plan for you, okay? So that's you're reacting to your plan. So you're waking up, you're working out, you're reacting because that's on your plan. And you're also going to eat your 3 small meals and 2 snacks a day. You're going to drink plenty of water. You're going to take your vitamin. Everything that Jeanette tells you, you are reacting to it. You're implementing your plan. Okay. Now, let's say 2 or 3 weeks go by. Now you have to evaluate your progress. You have to evaluate and see, okay, were the things on my plan that I reacted to, are they working? So now you're evaluating your actions. So one way to evaluate is, do I have more energy? Do I feel more vibrant? What is the number on the scale? Are my clothes fitting looser? Can I get through that workout a little bit easier now than I was able to 2 weeks ago? Okay. If you say no to any of those, right? So like if you're like, oh, I don't know, there's no change, there's no progress, then you're just going to go back to your plan. You're going to adjust your plan, and then you're going to react to the new plan. But if you say, yes, I feel better, because I'm telling you all, if you work out every single day, you will feel better. If you're doing HIIT workouts like Jeanette tells you, and if you're eating like Jeanette tells you, your stamina will improve, and you will start to get tone and fit, and you will start to lose weight. Okay. So that's what you have to do. When you have a plan is nothing if you don't implement it. Okay. So you prepare, then you implement, you react, and then you evaluate. And if you need to, you go back to the drawing board. Okay. And you adjust. Stage number 3 is perform. Okay, so if you have a plan, you've implemented all the things that you need to in your plan. Now it's time to perform like a pro. Okay, it is literally time to start making sure that you know what you're doing, right? And that means you are going to put everything that you just implemented into action, whether that's at your filling out your application, your interview skills, auditions, or whatever, right? So now you are actually performing like a pro. Okay. Any questions about those 3 stages? If so, let me know so that I can make sure that I address those. Yeah, no, I wouldn't lose any more weight. But what you could do if you're 97 pounds, you might want to add more muscle. So you may want to get tone or, just add more definition to your body. So everyone has a different path. Not everyone is 97 pounds. The majority of us aren't, right? I think the last time I was 97 pounds was like in high school. So everything that's on someone's plan is different. So you likely will not have anything around losing weight, but maybe your eating habits could be better, or maybe you need to drink more water or take in more vitamins. So keep in mind that every single person's plan that is on here tonight is going to be slightly different. And that's the case. That's the way that it should be. Okay. So let me quickly go over each of those phases because you have a white box right above each of them. And I really just want to make sure that you all know all of the areas that you need to think about to go pro. Okay. This is literally your game plan to go pro because it's not just about dance. Dance is very important, most definitely, but it is not the only thing that you need to think about. So I want to make sure that you all know each and every step of the game plan. So first one is mindset and confidence. This is key. So in our ProCheer Playbook program, we start with mindset and confidence. And you all already know that because when I asked what was the number 1 mistake, a lot of you all put confidence because you all know that preparation and confidence go hand in hand. So that is literally the foundation of everything that you should be doing, personal development every single day, focusing on increasing and improving your mindset and your confidence, okay? And you can do that through positive affirmations, self-talk, journaling, all of that. We're going to cover so many tactics on day 5 of our challenge. Next up is research and preparation. Okay, so it's really, really important that you all are making sure that you think about what the specific requirements are for the team that you are auditioning for, because it's not a one-size-fits-all. You have to make sure that you research the team that you're going for and that you research everything about that team, and that you then come up with your plan of action based on what it is that they want and expect and what it is that you need to work on. So let's say your team requires a triple turn. Do you have your triple? If not, that needs to go on your plan of action. And that's where the next step comes into play. After you've done all of your research, then you can start to put in your plan of action and really start thinking about what are your OFIs, your opportunities for improvement. Okay, we don't call them weaknesses because weaknesses has a negative connotation to it. It's not a weakness, it's an opportunity for you to improve. And so I want you all to strike out that word weaknesses from your vocabulary as well, and instead think about strengths and opportunities for improvement, okay? So then you're going to craft your specific plan of action based on the things that you know you need to work on. And many of the elements in this framework right here that you're looking at will be on your plan of action. So as you start to implement your plan, you will likely have items on your action plan around nutrition and fitness. We all know how important it is. Garbage in, garbage out. If you have acne, if you have pimples, and if your skin is not smooth, it could be because of what you're putting into your body. If you don't have energy, if you don't have stamina to get through auditions, if you don't have nice, strong nails, a lot of that is nutrition and fitness, okay? So what you're putting into your body helps to create what's on the outside, and it also feeds into how emotionally stable you are. So I can't stress enough the importance of nutrition and fitness. Obviously, this is the one area, the next area is the one that most pro-cheer potentials focus on the most, is dance technique and flexibility. And that is important, right? We have to be able to dance, we need to have technique, and we need to have flexibility. But I'm going to tell you all this right now. If you're working on the wrong things for the team that you're auditioning for and you didn't do your research, then this isn't going to work to your favor. If you are working on technique, but your mindset isn't right and you freak out when you get in front of the judges, this isn't going to matter. So everything else before it is going to impact your ability to perform like a pro. Also, nutrition, fitness, stamina. If you're not where you need to be physically, it's going to be hard for you to get through the audition process. So everything is connected, okay? The next box, you can probably guess what that is, but it's your look. And it's literally your look from head to toe. So it's your hair, it's your makeup, it's your lashes, it's your audition attire, it's your teeth, it's your the tights and stockings that you wear, it's your shoes, it's everything is your look. And every person's look is unique to you. Just like I mentioned earlier, you need to show up and just be you, right? But working with Sideline Prep, we're just gonna level that up. And we're going to level that up, and we're going to level that up in every single area, which is why I love doing what I do, because when we work with someone, they are a different version of themselves once we're done. And that has to do with everything that you see here in front of you, but also because we attract women that are ready to put themselves first, right? But so your look is really important. I would say in any audition, dance and look are the top two areas of most important on the score sheet. But again, if you don't have that confidence and the stamina and the physical wherewithal to get through the audition, then those two things, you won't score high in those areas, because you really do need the foundation to help you succeed. Okay, let's move to stage 3, which is perform. So I mentioned this earlier, but basically everything that you kind of learn prior to the perform stage, you'll be able to implement. So you show up and present your best version of yourself on the audition application, as well as the pictures that you submit. Also, that interview process. When you are confident and you've done your research and you know the game of football or basketball, and you know the history of the team, and you've taken our sideline interview course and have gone through our 4 sheets of potential questions, you're going to nail your interview. And because you're going to show up confident, and you're going to show up as your unique version of yourself. But it's really important, again, that you do everything before to really make sure that you can show up like a pro at your audition as it relates to your interview. And then last but not least, you're going to perform like a pro at auditions. So that's kind of like the last step. So the whole idea of this game plan is to take you from frustrated, worried, nervousness, being overwhelmed, scared, unprepared, and uncertain, to being prepared, polished, and confident. And so that's truly the goal for this 5 days. Now, of course, we can't help you with every single step of every single stage, every single phase of this, but this is a great skeleton and a wonderful place for you all to start. And listen, and participating and showing up and doing the homework is really going to help you all set the groundwork and the framework for what you need to do to go pro. Okay, so any questions about any of this? Any questions about any of this that I have gone over so far? I think I hopefully helped you fill in the blank with everything so far. Anything? Okay, so I don't think we have anything else. So I want you all to go to the next page here. And I think you all already know the answer here. So the most important aspect of being audition ready is properly preparing, okay? And now for the how, we're gonna go over some 5 tips. So excited with Vanessa at this point, okay? So let's see, what is the best way to get back into shape? So join us for day 3, because we are specifically going to go over everything, well, at a very high level around how to get back into shape. So the first box is mindset and confidence. Great question. First box is mindset and confidence. Can you please say the first part of the perform section? Yes, of course. So let me go over those again, because I'm sorry, I probably went through those a little quick. So prepare is mindset and confidence, research and preparation, and then goal setting and plan of action. Implement is nutrition and fitness, dance technique and flexibility, and the look. And then for perform, the first one is your audition application and your pictures. So this is presenting your best self on paper. We call it the pre-work. We have a YouTube training on this, but it's your application and your pictures. The next one is facing the interview. So it's the interview process. And then the last one there, she's number one, receives the gold medal, is performing like a pro at auditions, performing like a pro at auditions. All right, so sorry if I went a little fast there. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in Vanessa. So excited. Let me see. Let me hide this. Uh-oh, I don't see Vanessa. Where'd she go? All right, hold on real quick. Let me ask Vanessa to reconnect. I know that it worked because she was here earlier. Are you all still with me? Okay, here we go. I see her. Yay! All right. Awesome.
Okay. Cool.
Yay! How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Sorry for the long introduction. I was hoping to bring you on a little bit earlier than this, so hopefully it's not too close to your beauty sleep bedtime.
Oh, no. That schedule's all out of whack.
I know, right? I know. I was on such a good schedule before the quarantine. I was trying to get upstairs by like 10:30 at night so that I could wake up at 6:30. And then I just find myself down here working longer. So it's been a struggle, totally been a struggle. All right, awesome. So what I would love to do actually is just turn it over to you. If you can, before we kind of get into the tips, and just share your journey, kind of your dance background, and then leading up to, you know, your auditions, and then finding Sideline Prep, joining us, and then like a quick little overview of just your experience in the NFL and then the NBA. And then of course we want to get into the tips that you have for everyone.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Vanessa. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I started dancing when I was 3, just like a big studio rat, like constant, like just always there. Danced, did a little bit of everything all through up until like my years in high school. And then I figured it was time to dance at the collegiate level. So I was on the Diamond Gems dance team at Temple University for 3 years and served as captain my senior year with my best friend. We danced at football games, basketball games, volleyball games, you name it, we probably did it. We had gone to bowl games, we competed at nationals at UDA. So that was my college experience. So after college, I realized that I wasn't done yet, and I know that I wanted to go pro. So being in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, I auditioned for the Philadelphia Eagles and I auditioned for the Philadelphia 76ers. I was cut from both teams. And that's actually where Janine comes into play. Me and my mom and I got on a call with her, and I said I was literally one of the best at my school for Temple, grew up in my studio being one of the best ones, and like I just don't understand why I'm not getting picked for these teams. Like, I'm from this city, what's going on? So I enrolled into the PCP program, and Janine basically took me under her wing. So, I mean, my biggest thing was I didn't really want to move. I wanted to stay in Philly. I didn't understand why I wasn't making these teams, but I wanted to continue to try. But then Janine was like, why don't you at least try to move, like to go to another team and see what happens? So January of 2018, I went to, well, let me just go by saying I wanted to do NFL first. So my other teams that were on my radar, other than the Philadelphia Eagles, were New England Patriots and the Washington Redskins, just because I'm very close with my family and I wanted to stay on the East Coast. And I also kind of wanted to be, I'm a marketing major, so I wanted to kind of be in like big cities too. So I was able to live in Boston. Fast forward. So January 2018, I did the New England Patriots cheer clinic, and it was from that point that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just try it and see what happens. From there, in April of 2018, I made the New England Patriots cheerleaders, was one of 34 women, and fast forward even more, I went to the Super Bowl with that team and watched the New England Patriots take their 6th Super Bowl championship. So then going into the audition process for my veteran year with the New England Patriots, I was actually cut at finals, and it was devastating. I did not think that I was going to be cut. I was shocked. A lot of my friends were shocked. I was like really not trying to like move back home. I wasn't trying to be on another NFL team. So at that point, I was like, all right, well, NBA, I guess. NBA time to try this, because I wanted to do NBA too. So that was March of 2019. And a few weeks later, one of my former teammates you can only do 4 years on Pats. One of my teammates was like, come to this class in Boston. It's right down the street from your work. It's the coach for the NBA team in Boston. She hosts these classes all the time. You'll love her. So I was like, all right, cool. I go, and I absolutely fell in love with her teaching style, all of the above. And there were a couple current dancers that were on the team in the class, and they all seemed really nice and supportive. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm here. I'm in Boston. I might as well try out. Like, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is a no. And I already have gotten 3 of those. So, you know, let's go for it. So then auditions for the NBA team in Boston that I'm currently on were in July of 2019. And it's still a moment that brings tears to my eyes. And it was the day that I made the team. And now, I mean, the NBA is suspended, but it was actually one of the most amazing seasons that I could have asked for in the NBA. So that's my background. That was kind of just the abbreviated version, if you can believe it. Yeah.
Well, and it was definitely a journey, right? A lot of ups and downs, and we all hear no's, and sometimes those no's hit us in the core. And I, remember having that conversation with you when it didn't work out. And it wasn't just you, quite a few ladies didn't make it back that year after, for their second year. Talk a little bit about how you were able to still push through, because, when we spoke originally, you were like, no, I can't see myself dancing for any other team. And I'm like pleading and begging you, like, just please, just try. Celtics, just try. But you just weren't open to hearing that at that moment. So talk a little bit about how you were able to make that transition, because we do have a lot of women on likely that have heard a no and feel like they don't want to move forward and they want to give up. So how were you able to push through that?
So I definitely had my moments where I was feeling bad for myself. That night, I thank the Lord that both of my parents were there at finals that night, because I remember just being like, well, wait, I moved here. Like I uprooted my life. Like I was 22 when I moved up here by myself. Like I didn't know anyone. These girls had become my best friends up here. What am I supposed to do now? And there were definitely times where I was like, this is it for me. Like, I guess it's done. But then I just remembered like how bad I wanted to be in a uniform and how great of a teammate that I think that I am, and how I deserve to be in a uniform. And that's not cockiness. That's me understanding that what I can bring to a team and what I can bring to like help other people. That's how I feel in my heart. So I was just like, honestly, let's just try this again. I wanted to do MBA. I didn't think that in a million years, if you told me back in South Philly that I'd be dancing for a team that wasn't Philly, I probably wouldn't believe you. But at the end of the day, like, we're all pursuing our dreams, and you would never, this is off track, but I got a lot of hate for auditioning for a team that wasn't I'm born, like, I eat, sleep, and breathe Philadelphia. Like, I love it. But if you need to move to pursue that dream, no one would ever criticize a football player who's from Philadelphia to go play for the Patriots. So that's kind of how I felt like this is going to be a team that I'm going to pour my heart into. And regardless, this is my dream. So I just kind of picked myself up and I was like, I deserve to be in a uniform, and why not me? I got 2 no's before with Philly, and I got my yes in New England. So why can't I get another yes in New England? I think it's kind of just that resiliency. And I think I don't really like taking no for an answer, honestly.
Yeah, well, and I think too, you had to allow yourself to settle into it and just eventually accept the no. And like, I mean, everyone that's in my community knows that one of the things that I say all the time is that no does not mean never. It just means not right now. Right. And in your case, it was not right now for this team. So you decided, okay, I'm going to find another team. And I think everyone needs to just kind of think through and like settle into what Vanessa is saying, just in the sense of your path and the direction that you intended to go on isn't necessarily what's going to happen, right? So you may have it in your mind, it's going to be this way with this team in this city, but if it doesn't work out that way, that just means for whatever reason that it wasn't supposed to. And so maybe there's another path, another door that you can open that's going to be an even a more amazing experience than the one that you already had. I know for me personally, I was secretly jealous that you like made it in your rookie season. You freaking not only go to the Super Bowl, but like they win. So that in and of itself was just an amazing opportunity that you had, even for that just one season. And I just remember when you sent me the text message with the video for Celtics and you running out after they had called your name. I just was like, thank heavens, because I was going to feel so bad because I knew that I pushed you and I pushed you and I pushed you to audition for the Celtics. So I was just so thankful personally for my own self.
That is a moment that I've actually watched that video at least 4 times during quarantine, because it's something that just, everyone's got their something. And I think that video just reminds me how bad I wanted that and how thankful and grateful that I am to be on the team that I'm on. I don't even remember, like, I know that I was called first, but I just remember, I don't even know who was standing next to me. I just remember running and just being like, yeah, that's my spot. That's me. Like, I earned this. Like, yeah, but rejection is redirection, as my mom always says. And if you told me, I'd never wanted to go, I know that some people don't know what a Wawa is, but like Wawa is like a convenience store. And if you told me, like, Vanessa, who wouldn't go in a Wawa by herself without her mom, that she would be moving up the coast to like live in Boston, pursue her dream, like I wouldn't have believed you. Now I'm here for, it'll be 2 years, I think, next week.
Yeah, living the best life. Living the best life. And it's crazy too, just because, I mean, like you mentioned, you know, you and your mom were on the phone with me and we were talking about the program. And then when you didn't make it, I'm like, you know, sending your mom messages like, what's her address so I can send her flowers? And like, we're scheming behind her back, trying to like talk her out of this, you know, mild depression that she was in and refocus her and just really help push through. So I love, first of all, that you are willing to share that story with everyone. It says a lot about you as a person, that you're willing to share that and talk about that openly. And I know there are a lot of comments in here thanking you for sharing your story. But I just want you all to understand and know that everyone hears no, everyone gets rejection, everyone has to go through that. What's most important, it's not about how you get knocked down. It's not even about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how you pick yourself up and you keep pushing forward and you keep moving forward. Because when you do that, bigger, brighter opportunities are going to be in front of you. But if you stay down, you'll never be able to see what's in front of you because your vision is not that high anymore. Your vision is way too low. So just thank you, Vanessa, for being willing to share, not just, tips and, hey, make sure you do this, learn from my journey, but also the vulnerability part of your journey as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into these tips. So you all, again, just so you all know, we'll be able to fill this out. And she's basically going to give 5 tips that she utilized to really help her on her journey for not just one team, but 2 teams. And hopefully you all will be able to utilize these as well. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. So I have my first tip is knowing your team, attending classes and clinics to get an idea of the style they perform, the coach's teaching style, and interacting with current team members. So I'm going to try and go back and forth because with NFL, it's a little bit different from NBA and so on. So with the NFL, I actually had reached out to 2 girls on Instagram who actually became my teammates when I made the team, about the workshop, just asking, hey, do girls wear full on audition wear or am I allowed to show up in leggings and a sports bra? Because you can make that impression. But at that point, I didn't even really know if I was going to audition for Pat. So I kind of was really in a place of, I want to learn and absorb as much as I can. I don't really want to put myself out there too much. But again, that was my personal MO. The New England Patriots had 1 clinic, and then all of the pre-audition, the prelims and things like that were Celtics has one clinic. Why is the word escaping me? They have 1 clinic that's usually in March. I actually didn't get to participate this year because of the NBA being suspended, but they do that. And I believe the ages are from the little babies to up till 18, even college age. And they divide you into groups and things like that. But we are actually very lucky here in Boston that Marina, the coach of the team that I dance for, also is a co-owner of Pro Action Dance, who teaches all of the routines not all of the routines, but most of the routines that collegiate, NFL, and NBA dancers perform at games. So she will hold classes at the place that we actually practice at, and teach routines that you can kind of understand her style of teaching, how fast she teaches choreography, because there are times where you're expected to learn a full routine in an hour. So kind of just understanding how the director teaches, where with Patriots, Tracy Sermonti does not teach it. She has a dance captain. So things like that. Again, the style that we perform, Celtics is pretty versatile. We do anything under the sun. We did a full-on lyrical routine at one point for our Pride routine, our Pride night. And then we do things like Christmas routines, Halloween routines, full-on hip-hop routines. It varies. Where Pat's is a lot of arms, and every single routine is done with palms. So if you've never held a palm before, that's something that you might want to get into a prep class or watch some videos on, because it matters how you hold your palm. I guess just really understanding and knowing your team is my first major point. I don't know if you wanted to elaborate on that.
No, I mean, I think you did a great job with that one. I mean, and it's, obviously it's the tips that she's giving, you've heard just in our model, right? But you're hearing it from someone who's going through it, right? And so she knows, part of the process that we did was this long research list of things that you need to uncover about your team so that you are doing the right things in your preparation process. So yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. So wonderful.
I'm looking at the comments. I have my laptop and my
tripod.
There's so many. So many people that are from Philly. I'm hi. I miss it.
Yeah, you're definitely getting a lot of love, and I'll try to monitor the comments too. And then that way, if there are any questions specifically about each of your tips, I can maybe Or maybe we'll just hold, well, if you have questions as we go ahead and put them in and I'll try to address those. And then we will have like a 10-minute Q&A for Vanessa at the end as well, if you all want to ask her any specific questions.
Okay, I'm going to move on to number 2.
All right.
Which number 2, I put physical prep, diet and exercise, also flattering hair, makeup, your costume, spray tan. So the first chunk of it, diet and exercise, this is actually something that I super struggle with. I am a big sweet tooth girl. And now with all these TikTok recipes, I made like dark chocolate covered banana, cookie butter. I don't even know, just like all of the chocolate. It's like it's a big thing, but diet and exercise, like Janine had touched on earlier, is huge. It really does make that difference. And it helps with presenting yourself in front of a judge, especially on video. You're not there to physically give your personality to a panel of judges. So they are going to base a lot of what you're presenting on your look too. But not even just the physical aspect, but it does make you feel a lot better. I remember one of the first things that I had to do when I was in the ProCheer Playbook program was drink 64 ounces of water a day. And this is 73. I took a break today because I've just been like, feel like waterlogged.
But I love that though, because and that's the whole thing. Like we always say, it has to become a part of your lifestyle, and it's like all of us always have water with us. Without, I love it.
So I only drank half of mine today, but normally I've been taking in like the 73 ounces, and the first 2 days are a struggle. But when I tell you that you can, like, the third and fourth days, you're really like chugging the water back. Like it really, once you make it a habit, it really, you start like wanting it. But diet and exercise, like, I'm not going to lie to you today. I told my roommates and I was laughing about it. I had Shake Shack for dinner tonight, but tomorrow I plan on doing an 8 a.m. arms and abs class with one of my former teammates. So it's like, as much as there is a balance, like, don't feel like you can't treat yourself, because you absolutely deserve to. You just need to be smart about it. For me, with this quarantine, I would much rather be outside doing my workouts than, my house is kind of old. When I jump around, I feel like the entire house shakes. So I'm like, I like working out outside. So tomorrow, like, the next 3 days are going to be absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to make it a point to get outside and do my circuits in the grass and like do my jump ropes and things like that. You don't really think about the cardio aspect, but make sure you're getting your cardio in there, because now that I'm not dancing every day, I feel it. But on top of the diet and exercise part is the look part that Janine had also talked about. Flattering hair, makeup, your costume, spray tan, all of that. I am a very avid spray tanner. As of right now, I've kind of just been giving my skin a break because no one's really seeing it. And I'm almost in the audition process. The team that I'm auditioning for hasn't really announced any details yet. So it's on my radar, but full prep hasn't begun. Giving my skin a break. But when I look back on pictures of how dark I spray, it's mind blowing. So I know that a lot of places are closed because of quarantine, but really look into, if you are a fair skinned girl or if you just want to spray tan because it makes you feel good, because same, look into some self tanners or something along those lines, like a gradual tanner, a mousse, something, because you will feel a lot more confident if your skin is on point. Costume, I've talked to Janine already. Like last year when I was auditioning for the team that I wanted to audition for, there was a huge thing that girls didn't wear green. Like, you didn't wear green to these auditions. And I didn't know that until I showed up in green. But I told Janine, I was like, I kind of want to wear this, like, it was from Dallas Wear. And of course, Dallas Wear is not making costumes right now. So that's something that you need to also consider with your costume. I was like, I kind of want to wear this like really cute, like brown nude set. And Janine was like, it's pretty, but let's try a different color. And I was like, okay. So she was like, what about black or green? And I was like, okay, like, I'll try green. What, go sees. I don't know. So I took it out when I ordered this thing, and it showed up in my office, and I pulled it out at my desk. I like work at a bank, and I'm like pulling out this like sparkling bra top, like, woo! I was bawling my eyes out. I knew that it was the costume that was going to be it for me. But when I walked into that audition, I saw the exact uniform that I wanted to wear on a 4th year veteran. So it's one of those things that you need to be aware of some of the rules. I don't know if some teams do, some teams don't. I know that Sixers made us wear all black one year, and all of the returning veterans got to wear the team's colors. So that's a point. That's another type of research point that you might want to look into. As for your individual costume, if there's no rules of what colors you're allowed to wear, try and go for things that flatter your skin type and your hair color and eye color and things like that. Some of the colors that I was leaning towards this year are like a cobalt blue, a dark purple, and like a red. And it's something that you need to put it on and know that like this is it. Like this is the icing on top of the cake. This is what's gonna put me on this team, because your look is you from head to toe. Flattering hair and makeup. So with Pats, they kind of liked a more like natural glam, not light makeup, but just like bronzer, blush, nothing too crazy. Our coach actually didn't really like false eyelashes unless they were applied very, very well. She was more into lash extensions, which I'm not a big lash extension girl. I touch my eyes too much. But now with the team that I auditioned for in the NBA, like we wear like bright red lip or like dark purple lipstick, and the amount of glitter that I put on my eyelids sometimes is just, and like even with the Halloween game, I was Batgirl, and my one teammate painted the Batman logo on my face. So it's like it's much more like the team that I'm on, at least. It's a lot more like fluid with your makeup. Pride night, the rookies did with their 7 of us. So we did Roy G. Biv. We did the entire rainbow. So I was orange, and I had bright orange eyeshadow on my face, and it's just, you get to play around with it more. But for the audition process, it's just something to think about. If you have, like, I mean, granted, you guys can see, like, this is all my eyebrow. Like, I have big eyebrows. And I remember when I did the audition workshop, I think 2 years ago, prior to when I auditioned for Pats, Derek told me that I have very exotic features and that I should play that up. So I like to go, my eyes are a little bit lighter than you would think for a normal brown eye. So I like to do things that make my eyes look even more light and green. And I play up the fact that I have giant eyebrows. It's one of those things that if Janine or one of the coaches tell you that you have a specific look to play up, that's something that you should really consider. And honestly, YouTube, if you find a girl or a person, I should say, that has a lot of similar features to you, and you like the way that they do their makeup, you should try and like emulate that. Women like Carly Bible are people that I like to look at when they do their makeup. And then lastly, flattering hair. When I auditioned for Pats, I didn't have middle part, and I had a little bit less blonde in my hair, but Janine was like, let's put some lighter pieces in you, layer you up a little bit. And I was, I think, one of the only girls on Pats that had like that type of balayage ombre type hair. But then with Celtics, I remember I looked at my coach and I said, light, dark, I don't really care. I'm not married to it. It's hair. Like it'll grow back. It'll fade out. And my coach wanted me to go dark. And now she's actually going back to the light. So I'm kind of just like, here, take it. I don't know. But really listen, because hair, as small of a detail as you might think it is, in the NBA and the NFL, you're constantly whipping it around, and it's a focal point, and it just ties your entire from here up together. And there's times where I look at my blonde hair and I'm like, or the blonde pieces, I should say, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how I lived without these. I just loved the way they frame my face. The small, random, but like the smallest thing. I don't know. I like my blonde pieces.
Well, and that's the thing too. I just want to touch on a couple of things that you said, just to underscore the importance of them. So she was talking about, like, she mentioned, obviously, your physical prep is everything, like she said, from head to toe. But it's more than obviously just makeup, hair, attire, and all of that. It's also your physical fitness part. And so the way that we, Jeanette is pretty strict but she also she allows cushions, right? So 3 small meals, 2 snacks, water, vitamins, all of that type of stuff. But what we do is we concentrate more on portion control than we do on no, you can't have it. So if you wanted to have a cheat meal, then that's fine as long as it fits in your containers, right? And so you just don't want to have a cheat meal every single day. And then that way you're still enjoying the food that you're eating. You just have to make sure that you're eating everything in moderation, because as Americans in general, we overeat. And so if you want to be a professional dancer or any type of sport, I don't care what it is, any sport at any level, you have to fuel your body properly and treat your body as the temple that it is. And if you all think about that, you only have one body to live in. And so just think about what you put in your body today. Are you treating your body like a temple? If not, then there is tomorrow and we can start fresh. So just kind of remember that. And I know that there was some questions about, diet and all that stuff. Like I said, we'll cover that on Wednesday. For attire, just so you all can kind of understand as well, like Vanessa's graduated from the program, but like she knows that we are always here for her. So I'm like, oh, I know I'm going to hear from Vanessa. We're going to talk about her audition attire. But the reason, just so you all can understand why I recommended the emerald green, instead of like a natural kind of beige off-white color, is because one, I know that she is fair, but she tans. And just depending, your tan can fade. And if you have on white, it looks better, or any type of beige color, it looks better on a very tan complexion or light brown complexion. I was also worried that it wouldn't stand out, that it's not a color that pops at auditions. And so I wanted a color that was more vibrant and that went well with her skin tone and her skin undertones. And emerald looks really good with brown hair, brunette. So that's another reason that I recommended that color. She mentioned Derek, and she was talking about the Pro Cheer workshop that we have every January. And Derek is the coach for the Washington Wizards. Just in case, I just wanted to kind of make sure you all knew who she was talking about there, because some of you all may not have. And then with her hair, again, just underscores the importance of doing your research, right? So the reason that I recommended the highlights for her for the New England is because they are very girl next door, natural, glamorous look. And so I just knew that the blonde would help to bring out her features and just make her look more girl next door. Whereas for most NBA teams, they are looking for a more exotic, edgy look. And so that's why her coach recommended a different direction. But again, that's all about knowing your team and doing that research. So just wanted to kind of underscore a couple of the things that you mentioned. All right, we're ready to move on to the next tip.
All right. So the third tip is mental preparation, manifesting your goals and dreams, positive talk, and changing the narrative. So Janine knows this. I am a big if person. I'm sure that a lot of people sitting here right now watching this, it's pretty natural to think like, oh, well, like if I make the team, or if I get to go outside anytime soon, if. The changing of if to when will actually redirect your whole train of thought. And it's actually something that sounds pretty simple, but it's actually really difficult. Personally, especially if you're stuck in that way of thinking. And I even remember telling Janine, there were times where like changing the narrative, I'm getting on the bus and it's packed and I'm like, oh, it's such a packed bus. Like it's a Monday. I'm tired. I like had practice last night. So I'm like sore, but then I get to work and I'm safe. I'm like, you know what? I got to work safe and sound. Like some people weren't so lucky. Mm-hmm. So changing those small little things about just being more positive. I remember the Saturday before making the team, the NBA team that I'm on, I was sitting in the back of my Uber, bawling my eyes out. This poor guy was probably like, who is this crazy girl in my car? Bawling my eyes out, just like, I don't think I'm going to make this team. I don't think I'm going to. It's not going to happen for me. But then I remember standing back and being like, all right, well, there's 30 girls left in this process and they're all amazing, but okay, here am I. I'm like, I'm just as good and I'm here for a reason too. But changing the narrative and just trying to be more positive. And as corny as it may sound, especially I like grew up in South Philly and everyone's really tough and aggressive and blunt, but like the amount of times that I've had to look at myself in the mirror and say like, you deserve everything that you have earned, like you've earned this, and you're not lucky you worked for this, or you know what, you look great today. Like you've really been working hard on your diet and exercise. These are things that if other people aren't going to tell you, you're going to have to tell yourself. And coming from a place of a lot of tough love, my studio and my college teams, people aren't going to be there to pat you on the back. Like Janine is fantastic, and I'm so happy for all of the positivity and things like that. But you're not going to run into people like that all the time. So keep your Janine like this, like I do. But make sure that if there's only going to be one or two people in your corner, you've got to be in your corner too. And a lot of that comes with the positive talk and being your own. Like the girls on my team, I don't know if they think I'm serious or not. I'm kind of serious, but there's times where I'll say, no one loves me like I love me. Just like things like that. And it might sound like a joke, but it's something where it's like, you know what? Yeah, like you've got to be your own cheerleader sometimes. So just being positive and happy and confident.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for the compliment. Girl,
That's serious.
that is awesome. Yeah, well, and I just love it too, because that was, and it wasn't just with you, right? Because a lot of us say if that happens, or if, and I'm always correcting my lovelies, like, no, when. Say that again, when. And so, but it becomes habit, and it's just like anything else. When you start to think about it differently and say it differently, then the habit will be when it happens and not if it happens. And when you are telling your mind when it happens, then it's more likely to happen, rather than constantly saying if. And I love that you have to be your own cheerleader. That is exactly, how you have to wake up every single morning. You have to live in purpose. You have to put yourself first, and you have to remind yourself that it is possible for you. You are amazing. You are abundant. You are, the best thing out there, and you do deserve it because you put in the work. And so that was wonderful. Yay. That was awesome. Okay, perfect. So mental prep, what do you have for us next?
So for number 4, reaching out to professionals, knowing when to ask for help. Janine and her sideline prep coaches are so experienced and knowledgeable. So like I said in the beginning, when I was first auditioning for pro teams, I was shocked. I was like, why is no one seeing how amazing I am? Like, what is the problem? I thought I was everything in a bag of chips, and there's times where you do need to ask for help, and there's times where you might not be seeing something that other people are seeing. And it's that knowing when to ask for help. And I know a lot of people probably are scared to, or put themselves out there, but the quicker you ask for help, and the quicker you're going to get to your goal. When I got cut from 2 teams, I was like, oh, no. I need help. I'm making this team. So I think it's not even a matter of swallowing your pride, but understanding that there are people that are in this business for a reason and want to help, and are more than capable of getting you to this spot. So I think again, this is going to be the 8th time, like 10 seconds that I've said this, but just knowing when to ask for help is huge, because again, I would have never thought to put blonde in my hair or wear green to an audition. And that could have been another no. And it's all because I asked for help.
Yeah, and that's oh my gosh. So I just literally got chills. I was interviewed a week or so ago by her name is Bridget Case, and she's a former Chargers girl. And she asked me what was the one thing that I learned as a professional cheerleader that I carried into sideline prep and into my professional career, consulting and all of that. And I said, and I wasn't expecting her to ask me that, and it just came out that I learned how to ask for help. And it was because I was in a community of women that I knew were willing to help me. And so it showed me that I could ask for help. Whereas up until that point, I felt like I had to prove to everyone that I could do it on my own. Or as women, for whatever reason, we feel as though we can't ask for help because we're so busy helping everyone else. And that if we ask for help, it's a sign of weakness. And so luckily, being with, the Redskins cheerleaders, I learned that it's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to need help. It's okay to not be certain. It's okay to be afraid, doubtful, scared, all of that. The issue is you can't stay there. And one of the best ways to move from that type of mentality is to get help and to ask for help. And also know like the timing and then the who. And don't think that because right now with social media, there's a huge opportunity for you all that we did not have, where you could reach out to a Vanessa that you see is an NBA dancer or a former, NFL cheerleader, and message her and, get feedback almost immediately, right? But you all also have to remember that if you don't get a response, don't take that personally either, right? So some people may look at you as competition because they're not yet where they need to be with their confidence and where they need to be internally. Don't take that as a flaw for you. Don't take that like, oh my God, I can't believe she didn't reply. I'm not ever going to reach out to anyone else because I didn't get a response. You can't look at things like that that way. You can't take it personally. But most definitely, for everything in life, when you have a mentor, when you have a coach, when you have someone that has been where you want to go, they've already accomplished that. That's how you achieve that goal at a faster rate and more efficiently and effectively. But you can only do that if you ask for help. So I think that this is a wonderful, wonderful tip that I don't normally have as my top tips. So I'm going to have to change this. I like your list better than mine.
My mom always says the answer is always no until you ask. So
yes. Yep.
Little Ange Patizo wisdom there.
Yep. Perfect. I'm going to write that one down too.
My girl.
Right. Your next tip.
And then my last tip is goal setting, making yourself accountable, writing in your planner to get to the gym, stretch, or work on your freestyle. All of those are huge. They might sound small, but in the grand scheme of things, they all build up to what you're going to be putting forth as a dancer and in your, we're going to assume, virtual auditions. But yeah, I mean, trust me, with the quarantine, like I would rather sit in my bed and read my book sometimes, but there was a sunny day on a Sunday. I'm away from my mom because I live in Boston and she's in Philly. I went outside and did an hour-long workout and ripped out jump rope, like a bunch of jump rope reps and like jumps and things like that. And then at the end of my workout, I was like, my legs are warm. Why don't I run some sidelines? I threw on a random piece of music and I practiced dances that we had performed on the court for t-shirt tosses and things like that. And it's just things that you don't think about that really make the difference. The style, like practice your style. If you are auditioning, it's too late at this point, I think, for the Pats. I think that they're pretty far along in their process, but for the sake of this example, if you're auditioning for the Pats and you see that they are big into their palm motions, go on YouTube and find a video of typical palm motions, or if they have videos of, if the team you're auditioning for has videos of routines that they've done, just dedicate a moment, like dedicate Thursday night. You know what? I'm going to do all of my research for the Minnesota Vikings, or, I really want to go towards the NBA. Squad 76 looks sick this year. Like, I'm going to look and see. They are huge on social media. I think a lot of their routines have been posted. It's like, really dive into that. Or if working out is not something that you like, that's not your jam. There's times where I don't want to work out either, but there have been so many places that are doing like IG live videos that are up for 24 hours. Like, make it a point, sit with your planner and write down, like, I'm going to work out 4 times this week. I'm going to do the live class on Barry's boot camp. I'm going to do a pre-recorded workout with core power yoga. Like, really write it down and make the time for it. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, like, I feel like personally, if I don't write it down, it's not going to happen. my planner is on my bed over there, and even though I have not really left my house, I write down as if I have practice. There was a point in the beginning of quarantine where I would go into my back room at 5:30. Granted, I practiced at 7:30, but I would go in at 5:30 and do a workout, and it would simulate practice for me because that was a routine. It's just things like making yourself a priority, I guess. And I don't even think I told you this, Janine, but when I was auditioning for Patriots, I was in a 3-year-long relationship, and we broke up right before it was actually after the Patriots cheer clinic. We broke up, and I was like, you know what? Well, I don't have to worry about him anymore. I graduated. I have nothing holding me back at this point. And once you really turn on that, this is for me and this is what I want to do, not to be selfish, but like, you got to think about you a little bit. So these goals, really think about what can set you apart from other people too. There's this girl on my team whose legs are to die for, like her center splits, her jumps, her extensions, all of that. And it's just things like that. Like, she probably has stretched every single day or just as often as she possibly can to get to that. Think about your goals. And if you're like, I want to be like Ceedee McKenzie and her legs, take the steps that you can to get to that point. I don't know. I ramble a lot, but it just depends. Like, your goals are kind of individual, but figure this out.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's great advice because we lose sight of that. Like, if you don't write down your goals, then what is that quote? There's a quote that's like, a dream isn't a reality or something until it's written down, or something around I can't remember what it is, but basically this whole idea around, like, you're not going to accomplish anything until you write it down and then you take action on it. So like, a thought is just a thought, but until you like actually write it down, come up with a plan and put it into action, that's when it can actually be a reality. So that's just something that everyone needs to remember. And unfortunately, there are people out there that put their parents' dreams and goals and wishes for them, or their boyfriend, because, oh, this is the one that I'm going to marry and he doesn't want me to audition. Well, of course he doesn't, because he's likely jealous and controlling. Like, is that the type of person that you really want in your life? Someone that's truly supportive of you when they know that this is a calling and a goal and a desire in your heart, then they're going to do everything that they can possibly do to support you. And it's unfortunate that y'all broke up, but the blessing in all of that is that you were able to focus on you, and now look at you, right? He's probably
I have a Super Bowl ring, so
he's probably like kicking himself in his rear end.
Hey, it is what it is.
I love that. No, I love that. And it really is important. And so part of that whole framework, one of the boxes is about goal setting, right? So I think it's the one at the bottom right-hand corner is goal setting and plan of action, and actually putting it on paper with due dates, and when you're going to accomplish it and how you're going to accomplish it and everything else. So that's, perfect. Set goals, and then you have to take action on them, right? So you can't just wish it, think it, hope it, and then write down your wishes, thoughts, and hopes, and then not take action on them, right? So, oh wait, a dream without a plan is just a wish. Thank you, Rose. A dream without a plan is just a wish. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was the quote. Rose to the rescue. Love it, love it. Wonderful, wonderful. Those are awesome tips. So if you all love the tips that Vanessa just gave us, give her a thumbs up. I think there's a way on YouTube to give us a thumbs up so Vanessa feels some love. And then we'd also just love to see your love in the comments. And now we're going to open it up for a Q&A. So any questions for Vanessa? I think there was a question earlier that someone asked, like, how did you decide to not re-audition for the Philly teams and instead go ahead and move and relocate and audition for other teams?
I think that for me, I think it's more admirable for women who audition for the same team multiple times. For me, I just didn't think that was my path personally. There were a lot of girls that I know auditioned for Pats multiple times and then made the team on their third shot, and then they were on the team for 3 years. Like, just because I find it completely admirable. There's a girl on Celtics who auditioned 3 times and finally made it on her third try, and she's a captain. Like, I just don't think that personally was my path. I think it was more just like, let me see what else is out there, and I'm going to get my yes one way or another. I will say, when I got cut from Pats, I did definitely look into Sixers auditions, because I was like, why not? But I didn't want to, this is me being crazy. I didn't want to audition for Sixers before Celtics because I kind of wanted to stay in Boston because I'm already up here. I was going to only audition for Sixers if I did not make Celtics, because then I didn't want to rule anything out, basically. But the way that it felt, Sixers was before Celtics, and I didn't want to possibly make Sixers and have to move, or possibly then audition for Celtics, but then I'm already tied to a team. So I didn't really know how that worked, but I kind of just was focused on staying up here. I think that's kind of just how my cards fell personally. Who's to say that this is completely hypothetical, but if I miss my mom in 2 years, I miss her every day, but if I miss her in 2 years and want to move back to Philly, who's really stopping me from auditioning for Squad 76? It kind of just depends on like where my life path leads me, I guess.
Yeah.
To get deep.
No, perfect. And the wonderful thing about it is when you are living when you're living in your purpose, and when you're doing the things that truly drive you and help you to have a positive outlook on your day and on your weeks and on your months, then you have a lot more opportunities open to you. When you are closed-minded and you think there's only one path, one way, one team, one, then this is the only way you can go. And there's nothing saying that it's going to go exactly to plan. So when you can be flexible and when you can be open to other opportunities, then there's just so many additional options out there for you, and so many more doors will start to open for you because you're sending out energy of willingness to be open, right? Willingness to receive. And then so therefore you're going to get a whole lot of opportunities coming to you. So I think that's wonderful that even, you love the team that you're re-auditioning for, but still knowing and having that security in yourself to say, hey, if things change, I'll just go a different route, go a different direction, and be completely okay with that too. So awesome. All right. So let me see if there are any questions. I see Vanessa, you are awesome. So fun to have danced with you at Marina's classes and to have on with you. So I think that's Manny Reynolds. Awesome.
I saw her earlier say that she remembered my face and at Celtics auditions and just being shocked, and I would probably pay her an absurd amount of money to I wish I could have seen the look on my face, honestly. I wish. I immediately started crying. I remember that. And I cried for the entire time that the team was announced.
I bet.
Big crier.
So Caitlin wants to know, what's the biggest difference between NBA and NFL?
Honestly, I think that with me, I got lucky, and Pats also did a lot of the same dances that I did in the NBA. They also go to pro action, so I was able to kind of do both. But depending on the team that you dance for, I don't really know if it's a different type of weather that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and people that are in Texas have to deal with. But the biggest difference was, for me personally, and I remember telling my coach in the NBA this, that your body always kind of has to be ready, to be in a tiny costume. There's obviously other dance differences, but when you're in New England in November and December, you're wearing a big jacket.
Yep.
And that's a different type of demand when it comes to dance. But I went through basketball season with tiny costumes, and your eating and your diet and your exercise and all of that has to be on point at all times. And it wasn't something that I ever really had to deal with before. I was wow, I actually have to make this a lifestyle, not a crash diet. So the physical aspect of that. NFL and NBA personally, I'm telling you, my diet and exercise is just something that
hashtag lifestyle,
it's
not
a struggle that I will
I love it.
it's a lifestyle. But so as far as like commitment wise, I've said this before when I've talked to Janine. So Gillette, where we practice for the New England Patriots, is actually about an hour away from where I live, where with the NBA team that I that I am on, I can walk to the place that we play. I can walk to practice. I actually, there's a practice facility in the town that I live in, and me and my one teammate wore masks the other day and walked to our practice facility and back. We were like in our fields and stuff.
Awesome.
So commitment wise, I think it kind of evened out because there were a lot of games with the NBA, but I was traveling just as much with the NFL because of where I was located. Granted, I could have moved to Foxborough, but then I would be commuting into Boston for a job, and that kind of just wasn't where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in a big city, grew up in a big city, was not about to be in an area where there was like not a lot to do. Boston's also a young city, so me moving up here at 22, I wanted to be able to experience the city too. Dance wise, like I said, kind of the same thing. It's just a matter of like what you were wearing. We practice more with the NBA, but at the same time, I would spend an hour and a half one way to Gillette, 2 hours at Gillette, and then an hour back. Kind of just, and I know that you've said it before with Redskins, Janine. It kind of just evens out and kind of depends on where you live, not to be
it's
at a random point, but
it definitely does even out because, with Redskins, we did a lot more appearances and promotions. And we only had practice 2 times a week and then limited, only 10 games a season. But we spent more time, I feel like, on appearances, military tours, and all that stuff. Whereas NBA, it's far more demanding with games. It's 42 games in a season. And sometimes there are weeks where you literally have practice or a game 5, 6. There were weeks where literally the entire week. So it does even out. So you have less time for appearances and promos because the actual schedule is so demanding. And then as a general rule of thumb, not always, but the technical requirements for most NBA teams are going to be a little heightened compared to NFL. And it really just depends. Like you said, it depends on the team. And that's why the research part is so important. So there was a question really quick that I would just want to address. And obviously if you have anything to add to it, let me know. I don't know where it went at this point, but I think it was from Jesse, and he just asked, how to prepare. Let me see. What advice would you give a male first time going for NFL auditions? So in all honesty, the exact same advice that she just gave females is the exact same advice that we would give you. Like I mentioned, and I wanted to show you all, this is Zach. He is our official first gent, and we are looking for more. So if you all want to follow him, and I'm going to put Vanessa's information up soon as well. But what I realized when we were helping men with the Wizards auditions was I was giving the same advice on interview and nutrition and fitness and dance and all of that I was giving to the women. The only difference was I was not telling them about putting on lashes and a bunch of makeup and tanning and all of that, but it was still, everything else is pretty much the same. You have to prepare. You have to go in with your A game. You have to work on your craft. You have to, perform full out. You have to be well groomed. You have to be fit. You have to have stamina. Like literally every single thing that she mentioned about knowing your team, physical prep, mental prep, asking for help, setting goals, all of that stuff will still apply to you, Jesse. And we're always looking for more gents. So, hey, if you need some help, let us know. Let us know. All right, so let me see if there are any other questions. There's a whole bunch of woohoos and thank you so much in here to you. Sorry, the comments keep jumping as I'm trying to read them. Being from Philly and trying out for the Patriots, did you get any tough questions about if you were an Eagles fan in your interview?
So annoying. Yeah. There was actually a point where during swimsuit, and they don't have the swimsuit round anymore, but swimsuit for Pats, they announced where you're from. So that was the year that Philly beat New England in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
So you handle it with grace. But it was like contestant number 50, Vanessa from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I swear to God, and of course, like you don't want the entire room to go silent when you're on stage in a bathing suit, but like I swear that like you could hear a pin drop. I literally was like, hey, like, I can't help it. But you get a lot of questions, and you don't even have to lie. Like, I would honestly say I was a big fan of college football, and I love seeing where the boys go. Like, where the boys that I was close with when they were on Temple, I love seeing where they go. You don't have to say like anything negative about the Eagles. You don't have to say anything positive about the Pats. Honestly, like you are there as a cheerleader, and you are. Trust me, I drank the juice. Like I understand Tom Brady's not with the Pats anymore, but like when I saw Tom Brady play, I was like, I get it. I get what you are all doing over here. Like I get it. But I think you kind of just have to handle it with grace. People are mean. At Super Bowl we had a media day, and they were interviewing all of the Patriots cheerleaders, and of course they're all from like New Hampshire and Massachusetts and whatever. And of course I go up and I say Philadelphia, and the guy literally takes the mic away from me and was like, "This is done." And I just went like this and waited for him to be done.
oh gosh.
It's expected, but like I said, no one would ever make fun or give crap to a pro football player or a pro basketball player who moved to pursue his dream at another team. So why are you, I don't know. I think the main point is to just like smile, shrug it off. You're pursuing a dream, and it's a lot more than a lot of other people can say, not to be blunt or mean, but the people that gave me crap about auditioning wouldn't step foot in an audition in the first place. So
yeah, that's the thing. You have to be true to yourself. And the thing is, you all, with all interview questions, anything like that, you have to answer honestly, and you have to answer politically correct. And so if you kind of just keep that in mind, you don't want to ruffle feathers one way or the other, and just be real to who you are when you respond. Where you're born is where you're born, and just be honest about why you've gravitated to a certain team. It could be their dance style, it could be the city, it could be the fact that team, participates so much in community service. Like, what is your why? And just make sure that you're able to communicate that why in an interview scenario.
Patriots win a lot.
Yep.
Sorry. Honestly.
I want to go to the Super Bowl.
Right. I don't know. And as much crap as I got for Philly beating New England in the Super Bowl, I went to a Super Bowl and watched the Pats beat the Rams. So sorry for any Rams cheerleaders out there, but
you got your
I'm not really concerned.
You got your Super Bowl. What,
right.
Was it a ring or it was a
pendant. It's back there somewhere.
Oh, it's so huge. I'm telling y'all. I'm just so jealous.
You know what?
Yes, you have to show everyone. Y'all, I'm telling you.
Don't twist my arm.
When you see this, oh my gosh. This should be your why right here. Look at this.
This is your why.
Oh.
Let me see if it's, I pull it out for parties a lot, I guess.
Look at that, guys. Gorgeous.
So, and there's some Super Bowl confetti in here. So that's my why.
Yeah.
Anyone why you audition for another team?
I just have to show this too. This is the confetti she's talking about.
Yeah.
So awesome. All right, so let me see. When do you know when to start looking at other teams?
I think for me, I just didn't, again, like I've said, like, I think it's super admirable for women who continue to go out for their dream team. But for me, I think the ultimate goal was me to dance professionally. So I got my 2 no's in Philly, and I was like, you know what? Like, there's nothing really holding me back here. I'm 22. The time to do it is now if I want to move. I think that was kind of just like the reason why. If you're like me, where you're like, you know what, didn't think about moving, but now, like, why not? Like, what's really holding me back? I can always move home. That could be a reason. I don't know. I think it's really dependent on the person. I think for me, like I said, the goal was to dance. So if I was going to get a no from the NFL and the NBA team in Philly, I'm going to go for another team.
Yeah. Perfect. I mean, and it's exactly right. You have to make that own judgment. But if you are going to a team's audition kind of year after year and you're not progressing through the process, either one, you're not working on your craft so that you're proving to them that you deserve to be on the team. So you're not showing improvement, you're not showing progress, you're not showing forward momentum. Or it could just be that you've kind of weren't what is it? Warmed out your welcome. Why am I having trouble with phrases today? You've
Not overstayed. It's not overstayed. You're welcome.
Yeah, it's something like that. But basically, you've done something like they've seen your face too much, and they're just not interested, unfortunately. And it's harsh to put it that way, but sometimes that's just it. And you can kind of get a sense from that and get a vibe a little bit. And if you have the opportunity and you can move, and you're still young, you don't have things tying you down to a certain location, then why not try multiple teams? Why not try to do another team if you're just not making progress? But you also have to be honest with yourself and say, is the reason that I'm not making progress because of me? Like, am I actually putting in the work and doing the things that I need to do to show up as an improved version of myself year over year? Or am I walking into audition the exact same as I did last year? Because teams want to see progress. Teams notice when you've been working and improving, and teams also notice when you come in at the same level. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. All right, so really quick, y'all, because I've literally held up Vanessa like her entire night. And I am so impressed with you all that are like seriously still on here with us. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
Impressive. How many people are still on? Okay, so being from Philly, I already got that one. Sorry. What is the last fill in the blank? Taking action enables you to become prepared, polished, and confident. So it moves you from the place of being uncertain, scared, fearful, doubtful, all of that, to being prepared, polished, and confident to go into auditions. Sorry about that. Yeah, great question. I'm a Boston native and dancing on the Celtics. Hello, Laura. That would be a dream for her, but I'm worried my style doesn't fit. What would you say the Celtics look for in a potential dancer?
I feel like a lot of our style, when I reflect on some of the routines that we've done throughout the past season that I was blessed to be a part of, we do a lot of like sharp, like a lot of sharp, hard hitting jazz and like legs to the face type deal. A lot of hip hop, like it's very hard to say because I think my team, and again, maybe I'm biased, maybe I'm so happy with them, but we're just a very versatile team, and I think that we're challenged to do a lot of different things. Like I said, we did a lyrical routine for our Pride night, and then we go from like a super like character like Santa routine, and then the next thing you know, we're doing Senorita, like super like sassy, learning from one of the girls that's from Miami how to do like a certain hip roll, things like that. Like I think really just trying to take as many different classes from as many different places as possible to put a bunch of different tools in your tool belt will help you. I think growing up, I was a studio rat, so I was able to learn from a bunch of different people. And I also was on the Junior Sixers program when I was in high school and like a little kid. So I'm used to like having a bunch of random people come in and teach me a routine. I think, and now especially with this quarantine, I remember Janine, the last time we talked, you saw it as an advantage, and I personally didn't think of this until you brought it up. You are able to take as many classes as you want from as many different people without having to leave your living room. Like you don't have to go to Vegas to go to Pro Action anymore. Like you can go take these classes. There is a girl, Nicole, who's been putting in her Pro SAS classes into the Prep to Pro. She dances for the NHL and she was in the Bengals. Like these women are here to help, these men and women, I should say, because there are fantastic male teachers too. But I think just trying to get as many, like I said, as many tools in your tool belt as possible, because they really do ask us to, like Celtics specifically ask us to do a lot of different things.
Yeah, I mean, that's great advice. I mean, and that's the thing too, like even with sideline prep, we were doing virtual dance classes or something pro cheer related Monday evenings, Wednesday evenings, Saturdays, and Sundays. Now we are, well, this week we're every single night for y'all. And then Saturday, Sunday, and then probably Monday, Tuesday of next week. But we had moved to a schedule where Monday was just pro cheer playbook and we do Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. So this is unheard of because we used to only do this for our Pro Cheer Playbook program. And now you've got so many opportunities out there. Like you're saying well, first of all, your coach is amazing in and of itself because she offers so many opportunities.
Incredible.
Yeah, like where you can go in person. And even All Pro 3, they are now, because of the quarantine, they just announced that they're doing virtual workshops. So we'll be sure to provide, all of that information in the Prep to Pro group as well, just so that you all have that as an opportunity. And can, sign up for those things. There was a question in here about, well, let's see, Leah says manifestation are real people. Keep that positive mindset. Wish every girl in here the best for auditions. And this is why I love this community, because this is what it's about. It's about uplifting each other and one another. So Emily Stevenson asked, do any teams accept tumblers, tumbling as well? If so, do you guys know any teams you can suggest? So most definitely any team that you audition for, if you let them know or show them in your freestyle or some component of the audition that you tumble, it's only going to work to your favor. Mm-hmm. So regardless of the team, I would make sure that they know that you tumble. But if you're asking specifically about stunting, there is a post in the Prep to Pro group. If you just search by the word stunt, you will be able to find the post. But the Ravens, Tennessee Titans, the Portland Trailblazers have a co-ed stunt team. Let me see.
Celtics have it. Yep.
Celtics and Hawks both have separate stunt teams. Chicago Bulls, Detroit Lions, San Antonio Spurs, because they no longer have the dancer, so they have a stunt team. Orlando Magic. So those were just some of the teams. So again, just go to the Prep to Pro Facebook groups and search by the word stunt, and you'll see that post with all of the lists there. So let's see. What's the first line? Oh, the most important aspect of being audition ready is proper preparation. Let's see. Ladies, go for other markets. You may be a no in your hometown market, but a heck yes in another part of the country. I can speak to that, and it is so true. Yes, Lady Bear, definitely. And she says, seriously, thank you so much, Vanessa. I can relate to your path and team experience, success, and cuts. Feel you on so much. This is awesome. What's top 3 things judges usually look for in auditions? So kind of based on your experience, what would you say?
I mean, from I'm just gonna spit out the first 3 things that come to mind. I think retention of choreography and how fast you can pick it up. Personally, I think that when I auditioned for Pats, we learned an entire routine, possibly in an hour, and then not too shortly later, we had to do it in front of the judges, and you got one shot. So I think picking up choreography and being able to spit it right back out is huge. Again, personally, I think look is huge because you need to be able to stand out. I walked into the NBA audition for the team that I auditioned for and was the only person wearing green. Whether that was a huge rumor. I don't even know if it's true or false or whatever, but whether that was true or not, I get to look back in the 2019-2020 Boston Celtics dancers photo of the girls who made the team, and I'm the only one wearing green. So it's just things like that. I think retention of choreography, being able to spit it back out, the look that you present, and honestly, performance, because that's something that I personally think I definitely have the dance training to back me up, but there are things that other people can do better than me that I think that my performance puts me right up there with them personally. I just think making eye contact with people, or I'm not a big face pulling person, but a really good smile will get you a big smile, and something that shows that you're having fun and enjoying yourself will get you pretty far in the audition process personally. I've never really been big into like the faces and things like that. And it's something that even in college, my coach would be like, you need to move your face. And I'm like, I'm here. This is me. This is all you're getting. But like, I just think how you perform, what you look like when you're performing, and what the dance that you're doing looks like, and how closely your style matches to the person who choreographed it.
Yeah, perfect. And I can definitely say with Vanessa, so she, even though like it's surprising for me to hear that your coach said to work on facials and stuff, because I feel like that's one thing that you do really well is you perform with your face, and you specifically perform with your eyes. And so that is just a skill that you have to practice and you have to work on. But she is able to connect with the audience because not just her aura and her presence and her movements, but also because of her face and her eyes, because she literally is performing with her face. So I think that that's another thing to really be mindful of, to work on and to practice. And another thing too, I know like when Vanessa, we first started working with her, it was confidence. Like, just like she said, she knew that she deserved to be on the team. She knew it. She just needed to find, a coach and a process and a pathway to bring that out so the judges could see that as well. And so that confidence comes out, guys. I'm telling you, it comes out in every single thing you do. Your confidence comes out in how you sit, how you stand, how you walk, how you speak, how you dance, how you answer interview questions, how you fill out an application, how you take a picture. Your confidence shows in every single thing that you do. And so you really have to work on the confidence piece, the mindset, and just knowing that you deserve it, you're capable, and it will happen for you. And if you show up that way, that's like half the battle. And then everything else, obviously, you have to put into place as well.
Really quick, I'm seeing that Jesse audition, you did the Pats Take Me to Cheer finals, and I lived for your video. So shout out to you. Good luck, bud. Like, killed it. Yay! I just saw that comment and I just had to like go Pats. But yeah, awesome. I loved your video on the Pats Take Me to Cheer finals.
Oh, I missed it. I'm gonna have to go look it
killed
up.
Killed it. Should ask for that video.
Yay. Well, good luck. If you need any help, you contact us and I will help you pro bono, Jesse. Thank you so much. Then congratulations. That is awesome. All right. So Imani says, I have naturally curly hair. Is that something that is okay? Or is it standard to have straight hair? Asked a little earlier, but I don't think. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. These comments are like flying past. So I apologize for that. So I'm going to say it depends on the team. So what you want to do, just like Vanessa said, for one of her tips, is do research of that for that team and see if they already have ladies on the team that have naturally curly hair. If they do, then I say most definitely. But I would go to a prep class and try to get feedback if you can. Now, if they don't have curly hair, it's not that they're not accepting. So you can look at prior photos and kind of see if there's a history of it. If you don't see it at all, then what we actually recommend is that when you turn in your photo, that you turn it in with a collage and you show them both looks. So your main look will be what's standard and what's currently on their team. And then maybe one of the three photos could be you of your curly hair. Another option is to go to a prep class or clinic or show up for a virtual live or whatever with your curly hair and then get feedback from them at the end of the day. So I'm, just because they don't have someone on their team currently doesn't mean that they aren't accepting of it. Because remember, there always had to be a first, right? There always had to be a first. So you just never know. Is there anything you want to add to that one, Vanessa?
We got a lot of curly hair girls on Pat. There were 2, but we have 2 that I can think of right off the bat that are naturally curly girls. And actually one of them did a bleach dye tutorial today on the Celtics Answer Instagram. And she is so stinking cute. She's like blonde, like big Tori Kelly vibes. So yeah, I guess it really does just depend on the team. But we have 2 naturally curly hair girls on my NBA team.
Awesome.
And coach loves it.
All right. So I think it's Nafisha, maybe. Is there enough time to get technique down before NBA auditions this year? I feel like there's so much to learn and so little time. So it really depends on where you currently are with your technique and how quickly you're able to pick up the proper form, placement, posture, and all of that to execute the move. So it's really hard for me to say yes or no because I really need to know where you are. I feel like your name looks really familiar. So I think you're already a part of our community. But we do have our Pro Dance Academy. So if it is something that you feel like you need to work on technique and you literally want how-to videos step by step, like here's how to go up in releve, here's how to do a balance, here's how to do a quarter turn, now a half turn, now a single pirouette, double pirouette, like here's how to spot, here's how, to do across the floor technique. Like if you want that type of instruction, we do have an online dance academy. So the best thing that I can say to you is just start from the basics and take it skill by skill by skill, and don't think about this enormous like path in front of you. Just take it one skill, one technique, one form, one step at a time, and master that, and then move on to the next thing. So with our academy, it goes from basic to intermediate to advanced, and you have to show that you have a certain skill before you get access to the next video. So Sierra says, how much football, basketball knowledge do you need to know being on a pro cheer / dance team? So I'll let you answer that
one. So with Pats, we actually at finals were given like a mini pop quiz, basically being like who's starting quarterback. And I think anyone in America can answer that question. Well, now he's not with the Pats anymore, but how many people are allowed on the field from each team at once? Like different tiny things that you hopefully should know about football. When I made the Pats, we had a 4-page test about the rules of football and the Patriots organization itself. If you, Jesse, I'm going to call you out right now. If you make this team, get ready for this test. You had to name, and everyone does it. Like everyone does it. You had to name all of the teams in the NFL by division and conference. I started out by just naming all 32 teams in the NFL and then literally memorizing them by conference. Couldn't tell you now. Sorry. But, and then you had to, at this point, it was 10 Super Bowl appearances, but now it's 11. For the Patriots, you had to know who they played, where they played, what the score was, and what year they played, and whether they won or lost.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. And some of these scores were like, I mean, granted, the first one was in 86 against the Chicago Bears in the Superdome, and they lost 46-10. Like things like that were easy, but then it was like, okay, 2005, they played in Jacksonville against the Eagles, and it was like 25-21 or something like that, and they won. Just like random, like so random. And then you had to be able to name an offense, a defense, and a special teams player, like position. So like special teams, shout out to my ex-boyfriend. He was the punter of the Temple football team. So punter, long snapper, things like that. Just like a lot of random rules. But then for basketball, I mean, granted, this might be different for every other team. I went into my interview like ready. I was like, who's the head coach? Who's the owner of the team that I'm auditioning for? Who's my favorite person on the team? Like random things. Didn't come up. Still hasn't come up. I'm like, you know what I mean? So it kind of is dependent. I feel like football places a lot more importance, and maybe this is just me and my personal opinion, my personal experience. I think football places a lot more because, like Janine said, you have a lot more appearances and you're dealing with the public more often. And some of these people, especially Pats fans, are die hard. So they will know. They will probably be able to take my test quicker and more efficiently than I did.
Yeah.
But like, you just need to, I think with football, they kind of, I think they stress it a little bit more because you're dealing with the public who are diehard fans and like season ticket holders and things like that. Where basketball, these kids are new, young, fresh faces coming in all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that is so true because like I'm the in-game host now for the Redskins, and like these fans know their stuff, like serious, straight up, no trivia and everything else. So it's better to be safe than sorry, but that's also part of your research. If you're able to, like for us, we pretty much know what has happened in the past for almost every team, but that doesn't mean that they can't change things up, right? So it's better to kind of definitely know the history of the team, Make sure that you know the sport and you know like how many points for a touchdown, how many points for an extra point versus, you know, a field goal, how many points for safety, like things like that. Like you all have to kind of know basic knowledge of the sport as well. And it's better to just have that and know that and study it ahead of time than to go in unprepared. Are you okay, Vanessa, to answer a couple more? I think
yeah, I'm like trying to read, like to see if like, I'm like trying to help you out. Where am I going?
Well, I totally forgot that I can actually put the question up on the screen. So Carmen says, do you have advice for preparing for auditions for another team while dancing on a team?
For me, the last time that I auditioned for a team while I was currently on a team was college. I have never, I'm just going to throw two names out there. I've never auditioned for the Redskins while being on Patriots. That's just, I think that's something that I think have a little bit more flexibility because of the virtual auditions. Like you can submit multiple videos if you have the time and resources to do it. I think that you personally, I'm not going to say that this is a detriment to anyone else, but I think that you have an advantage because being on a team already, you are still dancing and those are things that you're constantly doing. Where with me, like, I can't really remember the last time that I've like danced. I mean, granted, like I said, like I ran like some sidelines and stuff, but I haven't taken a class in a really long time and that's on me. Like that's something that I should be doing. But you have that advantage of continuously dancing and hopefully still being stretched and in the mindset of like being on a team. So I think just continue to do what you're doing and just be ready to transfer what you're doing on your team to another if you make it.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. I mean, and here's the thing, guys, like, I know that there's this whole stigma like, oh, when you're on one team, you know, you can't audition for another team. And it really depends on when the season's end. So if you are thinking about going to another team, you still need to do all of the things, right? So work on your craft, do your research, figure out what it is that that other team wants and start working on those things. But you want to honor the contract for the team in which you currently are part of. And so the reason I say that is so like if you are a NFL cheerleader and you want to go NBA, then that's okay because your NFL season and your contract with that team ends. And you can then wait for that summer for the NBA auditions. But if you are an NBA dancer and you want to go NFL, then you have to wait for the NBA season to end, which would be April, May-ish timeframe before you can then re-audition or audition for an NFL team the following February, March, April. So you don't want to disrespect the team that you're on by auditioning for another team during your current contract year with that team. So just kind of keep that little thing in mind. And I know definitely for virtual auditions, a lot of people audition for multiple teams. Like we have ladies that audition for 3 or 4 teams. And I said, it's okay to do that, but you have to be honest. So what teams are doing is they are asking, are you in the finals for another team? And you have to be honest on your application. We have 3 ladies that are finalists for the Colts. We have 5 ladies that made it to round 2 of Miami Dolphins. So we're waiting. And we have at a minimum 3 ladies that made it to the next round for Bean Gals. So we're beyond stoked by the fact that, you know, so many people are able to audition for and taking advantage of going, you know, to other teams. Let's see. So here we go. How does height play into auditions? I am on the much shorter side and I am nervous that it will affect my chances.
Hey girl, I'm 5 foot. I mean, with both Pats and the NBA team that I'm with, I've had girls that are actually shorter than me. I think again, it kind of depends on the look of the team. Personally, I think that again, with Pats being more of a girl next door type deal, they do like that like younger, more natural vibe. And I mean, can't help if you're short, I guess. I don't really, I mean, even when you like a lot of people with like Dallas, but then you look at that girl, Lisa, who's on Dallas, she's tiny too. I think it just depends on if you're 5 foot, I think you need to know that you have to dance bigger. That's a comment that I get all the time that like, just because I'm shorter, I need to be able to like project up and out more because there's girls that are like, have 5 inches on me that can reach a little bit higher when they're here that I can't. Personally, I don't think height matters. I haven't really heard of a team with a requirement anymore. Personally, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't looked into it. But height has never really been a problem for me. I don't think I've ever been told that I'm too short for something.
Yeah, and it's exactly what she said. It's how you show up at your height, right? So one disadvantage with shorter people is that you really have to be on your nutrition and fitness game, okay? Because if you are shorter, there's no room for additional baggage because it makes you look even shorter. So you really do have to be thin, you have to be toned, you just have to be mindful of that. You also have to think a little bit more about your audition attire. So you'll notice like the outfit that we worked on with Vanessa, there's a V in the front. Do you know what I mean? So that helps to elongate your torso. You have to wear an outfit that complements your height and that makes you look taller. You also are going to want to stay away from boots because boots kind of make you look shorter. So you might want to go with a jazz shoe. So there's small little tips that you can, or tricks that you can utilize to make you look taller as far as what you wear. But what Vanessa is saying is you have to show up tall. And that is how you dance and how you project and how you carry yourself, how you're holding your shoulders. When you're leaping, you have to leap tall. You've got to dance tall and you just have to show up with confidence. And I think that's more important than worrying about your height. And you can't worry about your height. You are perfect, Marissa, just as you are, at the height that you are. And that's what you have to walk into auditions with, that feeling and that knowing that you are perfect exactly the way you are. Okay. But as a general rule of thumb, I don't remember seeing any teams having a height requirement and saying that you have to be at least this tall. The only that I know of is obviously the Rockettes, and that's not what y'all are here for. We're not here
to that to them.
We're not here to be Rockettes.
My left leg can't handle that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Any other questions here? Okay. There's a lot of conversation, and thank you, Sadie, for going in and answering a lot of the questions. So here we go. This year will be my senior year in college, and I am a captain of my dance team. How do I start my process going pro? Where exactly can I start looking? You have found your place. Hello, sideline. My name is Janine. How can I help you? No, in all seriousness, join our Prep to Pro Facebook group. That is an amazing place to start because everyone in that community is helping, supporting, and we're all working together for a common goal, and that's to help you become more confident in the pro world. We have our ProCheer Playbook program starting up in June. That's another great opportunity because it's going to add in a lot of accountability and coaching. But you have found your place. We are your tribe. So just let us help you. If you have any specific questions, you can get into our group and tag Sadie. Vanessa's in there and she's been helping out with questions as well. So by all means, we are your go-to resource for everything pro. So what ages can really, hold on, let me see. What ages can really, so you can audition at any age. There normally is not an age upper limit. There is sometimes an age lower limit. So you might have to be at least 18 or 21. So you would look at the team for that. But there's normally not an upper age limit. Guys, I was dancing well into my upper 30s for the Wizards. Yeah. So it's less about the age and it's more about how you look and how you present yourself at your age. Do you want to add anything to that one?
Yeah, I mean, I know that I think 18 and a high school diploma or GED is normally the requirement. As far as age, one of my best friends on the team, former, she's a current still because I haven't selected a new team. She was on the Pats for 2 years and she's 32. So,
yep.
And when I tell people that she's 32, they can't believe it. So,
yeah, and there was a lady a few years ago that made Ravens and she was 40. So it's less about your age and how you present yourself at your age and how you're showing up, if you're taking care of your body. Like, you know, Vanessa said, hold on, it's a lifestyle, not a crash diet. So if you're taking care of your body inside and out, mentally, physically, then you'll look younger than what you really are. Okay. Oh, here's a question. Could you link the Pro Dance Academy you mentioned earlier? Okay, so if you are interested in learning more about the Pro Dance Academy, you can just email us at info@sidelineprep.com. That's probably the easiest thing. Yes, I've heard that there's no ageism. Sideline Prep had people in their 30s had made it. Yes, we have definitely had ladies that are in their 30s making it on pro teams that didn't even start working with us until their 30s. Tomorrow, Jayante is going to be on, and she's a mom, and she's going to talk, any moms out here, she's going to talk about how she was able to accomplish that being a mom. Oh, yes. Miranda says, can we do play of the day, please? I need to sleep. Okay, yes. We're almost done. Let's see. Okay, yeah, actually, perfect. We are down to the bottom. All right, so let's go over the play of the day really quick. And if anyone has a last-minute question for Vanessa, we are getting ready to wrap this up at 10:30 at night. It's just been a party. I'm like, hey, there's still 100 people on. Why not keep going? Way to kick things off, Vanessa. We're starting it off with the talk. Okay, so here we go. The play of the day, people. So let me hide myself. Can you hear me? Okay. Do you have any suggestions on what they should research?
What we should research. I think so, like with your team, see if they have an Instagram. That's like a really good place to start. Because they do post, like with me with the Pats, like I auditioned when I was auditioning, I went to their Instagram and I looked to see like, hey, there's a couple girls that look like me. Like this is a good sign. They're not all blonde, or like they don't look for blondes, and just like they look for girls like me. Again, like with a lot of NBA teams, they post the dances that they do on Instagram to like say like, hey, shout out to this choreographer who had us do like this dance to like pop, lock, and drop it, whatever. So you'll be able to get a feel for the style that they have. I think a good place to start is with a lot of team social media, or even the team website to see if they have like galleries or videos up on there. YouTube, looking up videos of the teams. I think personally, social media is pretty telling, especially this time, like with this day and age. You're really able to like get as close to the team that you want to audition for as possible without being in New England in my case.
All right, perfect. And sorry, Vanessa, because I put you on the spot. I totally forgot that when I remove my face, that people can't hear me. And then people are screaming at me over here, repeat yourself, we couldn't hear you. And I'm like, I was wondering why you were like,
no, you're fine. I'm like,
sorry.
I was like, gonna start telling jokes or something.
because people don't make mistakes like this on purpose. Okay, so guys, I'm so sorry you all could not hear anything that I said about the freaking homework. So based on your research, so the first one is based on your research, so that's fill in the blank there. So based on your research, you just need to identify your top 2 strengths and OFIs, okay? So just pick one of your top teams, and just like Vanessa said, go on their IG, go on their website, and just research about their team. Look at their look, their fitness, their makeup, their hair. Look at their requirements for their audition. So do they require, or look at their dance routines. Is it jazz? Is it hip hop? What technical elements are included in their dances? So assess and research your number 1 team and come up based on your research what you feel your 2 strengths are. So let's say you see that they do a natural smoky eye, and you've got that covered. You can do makeup, you're good to go. So that's one of your strengths. But let's say they are a more technical team because it's NBA, and you notice one of their routines, they did a triple turn into a center split. And you're like, okay, I only have a double, so I need to work on my triple turn, and I'm not flexible enough, I don't have my center split. So that would be your opportunity for improvement number 2, so your OFI number 2. So sorry about that. So based on your research of your number 1 team, what are your top 2 strengths? And then what are your top 2 opportunities for improvement? Okay, so sorry about that. I went out and I was like talking and just having my own little, jam session, talking to y'all, and y'all couldn't hear me. And so what we're gonna do tomorrow morning, to make it fair, because I know some of you all want to go to sleep tonight, make it fair, we're gonna make a post in the morning that basically says, put your day 1 homework below. And all we're looking for is your top 2 strengths and your top 2 OFIs. Okay, so sorry about that, people. All right, awesome. Are there any other questions? I don't think that there are. Doesn't look like it. So I guess in closing, if you don't mind, I don't know, just to kind of sum it up, just words of encouragement for people that are on, just like those last minute tips or advice that you would give people, knowing that they are kind of going through a very similar process that you're going through, but maybe they haven't seen the success yet, or maybe they've heard a no. What would your advice be?
So it's actually something that I think about all the time, and it's like, it sounds like it's funny, but it's the truth. When I went to the Patriots cheer clinic back in 2018, back 2 years ago, Tracy said there's only one guaranteed way that you will not make the Patriots cheerleaders, and it's if you don't show up. So I think ultimately show up for yourself, not only just on audition day, but prior to. Everything that you do leading up to that audition matters. It's finishing that bottle of water. It's I have actually told myself that I'm going to do 20 push-ups and like a certain ab circuit that I like to do every night before bed. And that's what I'm going to do after this. It's like, just really show up for yourself and know that if you don't, again, like if you're not here for yourself, like there are people that aren't going to support you. So you got to do it for you sometimes. I think, I just show up for yourself, I guess. And if you're going to do it, like really go for it, because you don't want to get that no and think, oh, like I could have done this a little bit better, or I could have like really pushed myself in my cardio leading up to this audition. I just think do it, because that's the answer is always no until you ask. And if you're going to do it big.
Yeah, I love that. That's like a perfect way for us to end the evening. And, I tell people, don't tell yourself no. Like, don't tell yourself no before the judges have the opportunity to. And just like Vanessa's saying, you have to at least show up. Don't pull yourself out of the running. Like, why in the world would you do that? Like, why would you ever do that? So Vanessa's IG information is scrolling below, as you can see. She's absolutely amazing. Don't like bombard her all at once, but please go ahead and follow her. Get to know her. Obviously, if you have any questions, she is just an amazing resource. She's so giving and so just amazing with her time. Just some final closing remarks. Like Vanessa said, put in 100% and just go for it. I want everyone to remember that in order for you to create any type of greatness in your life, in order for you to create a different result than you currently have right now, in order for you to level up, you have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to show up for yourself. You have to be willing to do what you've never done to achieve what you've never been able to achieve. And when you are ready, when you're ready to make that leap, and when you are ready to put yourself first, and when you are ready to truly live in your own purpose, your entire life will change because of it. Not just pro cheer, but literally everything about your life will change because of that. You just have to force yourself to be comfortable with being uncomfortable every now and then. But I am telling you with 100% certainty that it will be well worth it. And that is it for tonight. So another huge thank you to Vanessa for being here. A thank you to all of you all, almost 100 people still on this late at night. But this was an amazing way to kick off our Operation Pro Cheer Challenge. I couldn't have had a more qualified, amazing, lovely to do it with me tonight. So again, thank you, Vanessa, for being here. To all of you all, thank you so much for showing up for yourself tonight. We really do appreciate you all. All right, that is it. Good night, everyone. Good night, Vanessa. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Good night. See you guys soon. Bye.